This episode of an Unexpected Podcast is brought to you by and dedicated to Susie Millhouse. Small acts of kindness really do keep the darkness at bay. Hello, friends, and welcome to an Unexpected Podcast. I'm Ez.
And I'm Lane.
And we're talking Tolkien.
We're coming to you from the North Farthing, just a couple of first-age Smiths sweating it out in the high ground studio in the house of Kirk. Well, technically, the garage of Kirk, Garagely area, in the North Farthing studios. What a place.
Garagely.
What place we're in.
Garagely, my friends.
We're in the Garagely.
This episode, the shadow's been vanquished. There's been a healing of harms, and we're ready for some good music that points to the one as we welcome the return of all things and hear the beginning of it all again with Christopher's Ford and the Ainulindalë and the beginnings of our Silmarillion read through.
Yeah.
That's probably the best I've ever
I was waiting for you to fumble at some point. And no, dude.
I've never read it before.
All you need is a little bit of peanut butter jelly inside you. Liquid peanut butter and jelly, not liquid courage. Maybe they're the same thing.
Well,
maybe that's Miravir. I don't know. And you're ready to go. So we're in the North Farthing. This space you've created, I have to be honest. When I took a look in this garage, and there's plenty of videos and pictures on Instagram. Go check it out. Social medias, we're documenting this experience because it feels very full circle for us.
Yeah.
It's surreal. Lottie was asking me about it. She was like, "How is this? Is this nostalgic for you? What does this feel like?" And I was like, "It's the craziest thing." Because on the way up, I thought about like how many times, especially in the beginning, how many times did Ez make the same drive?
Yeah.
Just the opposite direction, right? And how many times did Ez come in and like I really did feel like I was Ez and Ez was me and Lottie was Sarah and Luke was Winnie. And here we are, we're starting a new adventure for this podcast, a revival almost, it sort of feels like. And this space out here that you create in the garage, man, I mean,
dude,
when we decided to do the schedule of recording in person, then remote, recording in person, then remote, and switching back and forth between the North Farthing and Bag End, I didn't know. I had no expectations. Like, well, we'll definitely be in the, when we're back in Bag End, we'll be in the dining room.
Yeah.
And then you started in secret, just like the flannel wizard you are, setting up this amazing space in the garage.
It's not even done yet,
dude. But it's so cool. And I walked in today, I was like, I wonder are we going to sit at the bench? I was just thinking, I'm like, what are we going to do? And there's these tables with Middle Earth blankets laid out, and it's so comfortable and cozy.
Isn't it? You can sit back in your chair.
Dude,
you can sit back in your chair and just...
It's the most Midwest studio.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. The Midwest Farthing, baby, is where we are.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the North Farthing. It doesn't matter.
Same difference.
We're everywhere because we're drinking them. We're feeling good. But it's just an amazing space. It feels like a brand new start. We talked about it on the last episode, we feel reinvigorated from LEP3 and getting to talk to people, friends that we were seeing again and new friends that we had but we had never met before.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that. It's been about a month. It's been about a month to this weekend. And
yes, true.
And I for sure thought, we haven't talked about this, but I for sure thought that some of that fire and motivation and zeal would wear off a little bit.
Yeah.
And not a bit, man. It's only grown. It's only grown. I want to thank you, dude. I want to thank you at the top of this for being willing to do this, first of all.
Yeah.
For putting all this beauty together. Because I feel, I didn't tell you that, I mean, you can probably tell, but I feel like royalty, dude. I feel like...
Dude, I want you to come up here and
It feels special, dog. It really does. It feels like... I don't know, it feels like we're setting off on a quest. It feels like we're in our best. We've got our best armor on. We've got our horses all ready to go. We've got our bags packed. Like, we are prepared for what's to come.
Yep.
And we're embarking out together, and we're not going alone. We got all our friends with us. That's the crazy thing.
Like, yes, right now we literally have friends listening while we're here. Like, our patrons are listening over on Discord. It's freaking huge, dude. It's actually gives you a lot of confidence, and it's just fun. It
feels really cool. It feels like old times, man, doesn't it? It feels it really does feel like back to episode 1 kind of in a way.
Yeah.
Probably more so than any other time. Maybe I was thinking about this. Maybe the most And also, I want to thank you too for, coming out of that LEP3. I think even more so than me, I was tired, bro. It was a tiring weekend for me, traveling just because, and I had pink eye that week. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
The voodoo doll, whoever had the Lane Smith voodoo doll was going to town on it. And really just trying to screw it up. But anyway, I came out of the weekend tired, and I was excited and optimistic about us getting back on a schedule and recording again and putting out content. But it was you who were like, your excitement and your fire inspired me. It motivated me. It made me feel like, no, this isn't just another false start or whatever, which we've had because we've had things going on, right? We're going to talk about it in quick counsel. We're going to catch you up on the last 3 or 4 years, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think without you leading the way like a Gandalf, it wouldn't be happening right now. So thank you, dude, for paving the way. Because now I feel like, well, of course, I'm going to take the next step. We're going to take the next step. I'm going to when he comes down to the Bag End in the West Farthing, in Hobbiton, it's going to be ready to go. We're going to have a great time. Good times are going to continue to flow.
Yeah.
So
dude,
it's a ride.
Okay, the crazy thing, to back up here and to say thank you to you. This is why I freaking love this podcast. I love this show because I had no idea I was going to say this until you said what you said. People who think this show is scripted, get out of here. I mean, obviously it's not. But to take it all the way back to the very beginning, I need to say thank you to you because actually the only reason I'm doing what I'm doing now is because every time I came down to Bag End, it was an event. Mm-hmm. Every time. I told Lottie, I was like, every time I came down, I was just like, okay, Lane's making some food. What do you want? There's a soup. There's meat out on the fire, right? There was always something. It was special drink. Everything sort of has this. I feel like we're living our best life when we're on this podcast. Because we talk about our lives. We talk about we are living our best life. Yeah, literally, we are, and we share it with you guys. And then I come down and I'm at Lane's and we're under the party tree talking beforehand, smoking if we will, or back then we weren't even smoking.
Just holding one.
I was just gonna say,
Monway's smoking it.
Now I'm at least holding the smoke. Back then I was just watching. So I'm getting there. But every time I came down, it was always an event. And then we started having guests on the show, right? Mm-hmm. We started having our friends on, or uppers that we met, actually. Mm-hmm. People that we met that showed up to LEP. Kurt Jones is one of those people.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
And we got people on here right now. We thanked Susie at the top of the show because literally part of this was sincerely, I was there at LEP 3 and I had multiple sit downs with her and I was just like, dude, my heart was... They say in church, my cup was running over.
Overflow.
I was drinking from my saucer, as the song says.
Oh, dang, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Seriously,
I know what you mean. Yeah,
dude, oh my God, it was so good and so refreshing just to kind of and then I guess the backdrop was all the friends there, and then you being there, and then just my son being there, my wife being there. Yeah. It was so full circle, and it's such a big event. We hadn't done an event style thing like that in a while.
Years.
Yeah, so it kind of really brought me back to those original feels. And it was just, it was so good. So to say thank you to you for the way we approach this podcast, I would come down and I would just be so fretting about the technology. Still am.
Yeah.
I still am, but I've let a little bit of it go. I've just been what? We'll do webcam this time.
You're crafty,
it's fine.
Dude. You've developed you made it an art form, brother, for sure you have.
Yeah, I'm just making it work, But I remember being all caught up in that and Lane having this extra sort of Discords were fun because we were eating different foods. We would talk about the foods that we ate, what was going on in our lives, funny stories. Goldberry would come and go. Yep. Lottie, again, she showed up here for our Discord today, which was awesome. Yep. And it's just, it's fun, man. It's crazy. Yeah. Seriously, it feels like a parallel because Lottie and Luke are inside, they're asleep, right? Yep. And we're out here in the garage, and we're just going to be up doing our thing, singing about hobbits and actually this time the creation of
right,
of Middle Earth,
the big ones,
So anyway,
no, and I mean it was So when I think that's what these stories are all about, right? It's about friendship, and I think they're strangers and they're friends, and your time with your friends should feel special. It should always feel special, even if it's the normal kind of special. You know what I mean? Right. And it's about the small acts of kindness, and love that. Keep the darkness at bay, right?
Keep the darkness at bay, baby. Let me tell you something. it just dawned on me again.
Yeah.
When we were in college, this started way back at my trunk.
Yeah. You should check out my trunk right now. It looks just like yours did back in the day, dude. I've turned into Ez in a way. I think like there's some kind of weird polarity shift. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Like Lane used to just, I'd be this just wayward stranger out in the parking lot of Mount Vernon Nazarene University.
It was very Gandalf.
It was very Gandalf. I would just appear out of nowhere.
The cart was there. Yeah.
You know, and Lane would be like, Ez? You know, like my trunk was
always
open.
In the chapel parking lot.
Always
in the chapel parking lot.
Trunk was open. We'd just be sitting there. I'd be looking up at the stars, thinking about what's going on. And we would just start talking about life, you know? So even back then, that friendship and those moments when we hung out and stuff were epic and fun, you know? Heart of the Warrior, all this stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Camping out, dude.
Yeah,
we made everything
Warrior
epic.
Falls. Yeah.
Dude, we made everything epic. And my message actually to anyone listening is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, make it epic.
Yeah.
Just you are the protagonist. You are the hero. You're the Aragorn. You're the Arwen. You are that, right? And so like I want people to live like that, live large, and like whatever it is, your day in, day out lives. Like
that is the adventure.
That's the adventure, dude.
Don't wait for it. Yeah, you're not. I know. Yeah, dude, you couldn't have said it any better. There's nothing else coming. This is it. This is it. You know, like Apollo Creed says, there is no tomorrow, right? Today.
That's right.
Today is it, dude. And yeah, I mean, I walked in today, and you were already out here. Lottie was out here with Lucas.
Yeah.
She walks right up. She goes, "Do you want to hold him?" I was like, yes. And the last time I saw them, I had pink eye, so I was staying away. And I was like, no.
That's right.
And I even thought on the way up, I'm like, I don't have pink eye this time, so I could like give her a hug, and I could probably you know, say hi to Lucas and like maybe give him a hug. But she just put him right in my arms.
Boom.
And dude, I was taken back, dude. I was really taken back. Like it was just bizarre. It was, and this whole night has been that way. You know, whether it was holding him and walking around while you guys were, you know, setting up and doing stuff, and then going inside and having dinner, and you're like, here, get a bowl of soup, man. I got what you need. You need this. I'm like, this is so weird. This is like but in the best way. And anyway, it just feels like the perfect way to, maybe this is what we needed all along, to get back into this adventure, to decide like, no, we're not going to stop. We're not gonna.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is something we're gonna do forever. And I think about how much our you know. I mean, I think even Lucas loves it. I don't know. You know, he's still really little, but our kids love that we hang out, we get together, that we we talk Tolkien. You know, thinking about like Winnie back in the day, talking Tolkien, like talking to the and Charlotte. You know, I came across an episode the other day when I was just strolling through, thinking of like how it's literally been like a history of our lives, and everyone involved with the podcast too, and there's an episode where Charlotte, it was her birthday, and she's like singing at the beginning of an episode. And I think there's so many little nuggets in there and you look back, and perspective is a funny thing, right? I mean, I was even thinking, it's just amazing how it changes, but it's the same. Like I was even thinking driving up to your place, I love this hill it's on, man. And you get off on this big road, and I was like, man, if I could see up past those trees, I could see their house.
You see it.
You can't see your house from the road, but you come up to your house and you can see the road from your house.
It's hidden by the old forest.
Yes. Like, and I think it's so
well, not technically, but
right, but I think it's so amazing how it's all perspective, what you can see, but it doesn't mean that it's not there, and with you, and so but it was wild to come in, and you know, like Goldberry's at home, she's taking care of all the kids. It's been a long week. We've had conferences 2 nights, so I haven't done bedtime like 3 nights this week, and she's just shouldered it and been a beast like she always is, and the kids have been, you know, like, Dad's not here, but he's next week he will be, you know, and it's amazing like what our families do for us, how they inspire us. And you know, when we talked to people at LEP3, that was one of the things that came across, and I was like, you know, for a long time we were like, we should drop quick counsel, because enough people were like, we don't give a crap about this is stupid, you know, like we get those little comments, but they feel loud and they get in your head, and you're like, are we talking too much about, you know, our families or whatever? It's like, no, the people at that party, our friends told us, they're like, we really miss that, you know, we love your honesty, we love how you talk about being dads, how you talk about being friends, how you talk about being teachers, how you talk about being husbands, like that's important, like people enjoy hearing those conversations, and
I'm glad they do, because
I do too, because I love talking about it. Like that's the thing, is those are my
I love listening to it too.
I do too, man.
From other, literally, I love when
I know.
What's most attractive, I think, from other creators or just people in general.
Yeah.
is just being genuine. And you can tell when someone's being that, like, they're either trying to play along, and I get it, by the way. There's stresses, there are all sorts of different social things, and blah, blah, blah,
even the
whatever.
wrong day or whatever, you could be off.
Exactly. But I love when people are just genuine and they just break down, and there's this sort of honest, like, just rawness, right, to it. And I feel like we've always, just because we're such good friends, and we have such a long history of being friends, and God, we went to a university that literally said, like, that was the whole point of it. Like, you had to get down to your soul, bro. You had to get down to the heart, man.
That's true, man.
You had to get back to the heart of worship, baby. I like to bring that up once in a while. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made it, right? But I mean, seriously, like, that's what we get to, and we get into some soul food, and I love that because it's actually, it's helped me develop, it's helped me to grow stronger, and I think when you, like this letter we're going to talk about today with Tolkien, that's what like, he's into some soul food stuff, like he's into some bigger, higher philosophical stuff.
Yes, he is.
And it's like it goes well beyond just sharing. Like, he even mentions, like, the story for his kids and, like, some of the things that he did for them and how that wove and found its way into his creation story. So he was thinking the same sort of things. He was having the same conversations and inklings with his friends and stuff. You know, it just wasn't recorded necessarily.
True.
God, if it were, though.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine?
I guess, dude. You know, it's funny, those letters that, you know, for a long time I was like, man, I'll never be interested in that. I'll never read those, even though in high school, ironically, I loved Tom Shippey's Author of the Century. I loved the peek behind the author that gave you, because I ate it up. I mean, I was so obsessed that I was like, once I ran out of, like, immediate Lord of the Rings stuff, I was like, I want to learn about him. Like, what kind of a guy was he? What did he believe? And at that time, you know, of course, I was obsessed with the fact that he was, you know, Catholic Christian and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, his faith has, you know, inspired him, but he didn't like shove it in people's faces. But he wrote this thing that was greater, but it, like, spoke to the truth. But yeah, anyway, I never thought I would read those letters, but you get into it. It is kind of almost like if he had recorded his voices, like the brilliance of saving those letters and then being able to share them with us. You know, sometimes I wonder what you would think of that, you know. I
know.
But at the same time, I think, like, for us anyway, selfishly, it's great that we have that as a resource to kind of get his, and to skip ahead of that. There's something we talked about when we were going to get back into this, because last time we did not cover that. We went right into Ainulindalë, but it was like this time I'm like, you know what? Everyone skips through the preface. Everyone skips through the foreword.
Yeah.
Well, you were thinking it too. I know you were thinking it, but it's like, that's there for a reason. I've started reading those things because I'm like, what is the intent of this book? Like, what is the purpose of what I'm supposed to be reading? And a lot of times it'll tell you right there. And especially knowing the history of this and how we wouldn't have it if it wasn't for his son.
For sure.
We wouldn't have it if it wasn't for him. And also, like, how important he thought it was. Dude, to go through that letter and learn that this was something that was crazy. The Hobbit he wrote, and then the next thing he took to publish was the Silmarillion.
Dude,
insane. You know, the Book of Lost Tales. He's like, this is what should happen next. And they're like, hey, I think this is a little too much. Like, it's a big jump. And so, but it was that important to him that he was like, no, this is what I need this included. And even to the very end, he was fighting for, you know, them being published together. He was like, they're one comprehensive piece that you cannot separate. But anyway. God. Well, do you want to do? Let's get into some quick counsel.
I mean,
we're kind of already there.
We're there. But I mean,
what do you want to do? What are you talking about? Like life? Let's catch up. We're in your house,
dude. Okay,
catch us
for
up,
sure.
Baby.
No, I mean, like this. We had LAP3. We've been chatting away. We revamped the Patreon, which is really cool. We've got tons of people in there. Which, dude, by the way, shout out to all of our patrons. Love them.
And the Discord
dearly.
the Discord was so much fun, guys. We're bringing that back before recording. You know, hour and a half, hour before recording every fortnight. That feels good to say, doesn't it?
It does.
Fortnight farewells. Every fortnight, we're going to be getting in Discord and just chatting it up. And it's raucous. It's crazy. You know, you might play it so that your whole family can hear. You might need to mute it at some point. You know, I don't know. But it's just a lot of fun. And we record those. We put those on Patreon as well. That's something you can go back to and listen to. It's just it's capturing a good time, a hangout, which is a lot of fun.
I think I just want to talk just quickly about. So first of all, shout out to our lords and ladies of Gondolin.
Yes.
Okay, shout out to them because they literally are the sponsors of the show.
Yep.
Flat out. I mean, you've got Susie, you've got Aaron, you've got Kevin. Who am I missing? I mean, we've got Amanda. Thank you so much. So,
Three ladies and a lord.
Dude, it's literally so epic. We have our Instagram chat. which, by the way, is very fun.
It's very bread heavy.
It's very bread heavy. It's very...
it's yeasty, baby.
There's some yeast going on in there. I love it. And so we have a private Instagram chat that if you're at that tier, you can join. It's just so cool because they are they've been there for us. They've supported us through thick and thin, and it's just it has brought this new vigor back to the podcast. So every episode, you're going to be hearing me and Lane shout them out because I'm telling you guys right freaking now, the Silmarillion, this studio, all of these things, this is a fact. Okay. Mm-hmm. If I had LEP3, and again, I had more wherewithal. I got more sleep than you did, so I was actually locked in.
Again, we were flipping, dude.
We were flipping. You were sweating, and I was sort of like, dude, just air conditioner on. Give me a sweater.
Lane's stressed he didn't even set up. What the hell?
Lane did actually do all the trivia, so that was so great. That was so great. I actually was supposed to do an episode, and I was like, hey, let's audible. I was going to do the Galadriel chapter, and I just audible and said, how about we just do trivia? Anyway, but seriously, to those individuals, and to everyone who showed up and everyone who's on Patreon, by the way, again, the ways you can contribute is not just Patreon, it's listening, right? It's just, it's sitting in your Tolkien story. Yeah. It's popping in on the Discord and chatting in Middle Earth. That's free, by the way. There's a link down in the description. Yep. Everyone can go to Discord now, which
people
freaking
are popping
love.
In like crazy too. I mean, even today, we had 10 people jump in today.
Why did I not think of it? I wanted a place for uppers. Facebook was that place. Yeah. For uppers to kind of come and chat and stuff. But again, there's something really special about Discord, and it's just it's next door to Melkor's Discord and all of our hangouts. Yeah. So I felt like, okay, I want people to go to the Middle Earth chat and talk with other uppers and chat, and I want to get in there myself every morning and just it's on my screen every morning at work, and I just pop in there. Yep. I'm typically there half an hour, 45 minutes before work, and so I'm like, okay, what's going on? I check the news, just for things, and
it's really cool.
And I go in there, I'm looking for a quote to drop in with people. I just freaking love it. Yeah. But this studio, the vigor, the energy behind these episodes, literally comes from those conversations we just had at LEP3. Me and you with those people saying, we want these things, let's bring it back. Yeah. Let's freaking bring it back in its full glory. So, as we talk about quick counsel, that in my mind, the last couple of weeks, all I have been trying to do is create literally the best experience I can for those people and for my friends. They're my friends. Yeah, dude, they literally friends, like Lottie was like, what's this bread recipe stuff going on? She wants to, are there recipes we can try? Cause she's really into home, trying to more so baking and it's fall time and she wants to get into this, some of that stuff. And so I'm like, okay, it's just all coming together in such a way that I never foresaw, could not see. Just like the Ainur in this chapter. Yeah. There are things coming that I never saw. Yeah. Even though I feel like there's some things that we see, we're like, okay, I get that, I see where that comes from. But honestly, I'm dumbfounded when I think about the support this podcast has, the people that showed up, the people that are already planning to show up for
LEP4. Yeah, we got a special announcement coming later, man. No.
But you know what I'm saying? People are already excited, and so it just pumps me up on another level. Yeah. To be honest, my kids have even been saying at school, Mr. Kirk, you seem really happy and really just fired up about stuff. And I'm I'm playing motivational videos for them at school, and I'm getting them fired up about their freaking homework, but it's all coming from I'm fired up about my stuff, and I'm I don't know, I'm so pumped, I guess, and I just feel so rejuvenated, and the shadow has honestly gone.
Yeah, the power of friendship, man, and it's funny the power of friendship can lift you out of a lot of things, right? We've seen it time and time again. We see it in real life. We see it in stories. We see it, highlighted in everything, music and movies and TV shows and all these things, and that is what pulls you out of dark times. It's what helps you get through difficult moments is friends by your side, man. It's crazy. I mean, I was just watching, Sarah and I are watching the show called The Pit on HBO. It's amazing. Reminds us a lot of, it feels very real because of the time we spent in the hospital with Vigo. Yeah. But there's a line about friends. I'm gonna oversimplify it and butcher it, but it's a bit of a cliche, but it rings so true that friends are all you have, man. Mm-hmm. And those friends will get you through hard times. Yeah. Right. And you can argue there are other things that you can put your faith in and believe in, but I think that they come to life through other people. I think that's how they're made.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
That's how the word comes to life, if you will. And Yeah. So, and I feel the same way, dude. You know, I feel a lightness that I haven't felt in a long time, although circumstances haven't really changed. I mean, the reality of our lives haven't changed at all, but there's a lightness, there's a tenderness that's come back for me.
Yeah.
Like personally, I'm like, I feel a little more even keeled. I feel like I feel slower to anger. I feel happier. I feel gentler. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think a lot of that is because, you know, everyone wants to have a place as well. Right.
Yeah,
it's something I'm really proud of us and everyone in this group, by the way, too, who have seen Middle Earth. A lot of times you can get kind of gatekeepy, you know, and that's cool. And if people want to use that to carve out a niche for themselves, you know, so be it. That's fine.
Sure.
There's corners for everyone in Middle Earth and in the earth we live in. Right. So, but I think to myself, one thing that's been really cool is we've always seen that need, seen that like there should be no gatekeeping in Middle Earth, right? It's a world that should be accessible to everybody. Tolkien shows that through his works, right? The least quote unquote important people and group of people in the entirety of Middle Earth are the ones who destroy evil. Like are the only ones who are resistant to it, and they can fight it the longest, and they're able to allow for the opportunity for the destruction of darkness, right?
Right.
And I think to myself, yeah, everyone should be welcome. And so,
and everyone is.
And I'm really glad that's something that we've never lost sight of. That's something that we protect, and that's something that we will continue to do, is that this is a place that everyone's welcome to and enjoy Tolkien. Whether you're brand new, whether Rings of Power got you into it, the movies got you into it. Exactly. You've been into it since the first pirated copies of Lord of the Rings came into America, right? You know, so there are people like that as well who are OGs that Tolkien hated they were reading, you know, pirated copies. But you know, there's a spot for everyone. There's a place for everyone. There's no hierarchy. There's no inner circle. None of that stuff, dude. We're all here together, hanging out, enjoying, and really the great thing about this fandom is that it allows us to talk and connect and learn other things about each other, like what you're into, what your family's like, what your background is. Like, dude, talking to Steve at LEP3, everyone else was in paragraphs. Everyone else was in paragraphs, having a great time, getting cool books, mingling, meeting, everything. And I took a second because not everyone, because the Illinois boys were still at Bickerdike, but I took the alley back. I smoked a cigarette out on the corner, and Steve was there too. He's like,
Did you really?
He said, I'll have a smoke with you. Yeah. We sat there. We talked about fatherhood. We talked about being a grandfather. We talked about childhood. We talked about upbringing. And dude, there was something in that. I said this before, right? There's something. We're from the same little pool, gene pool or whatever. And anyway, but yeah, there's a spot for everybody. And and so I'm glad that
dude, let me tell you something.
People are still here, I guess. Really, yeah.
No, amen. Because I'm telling you, like, I was talking to Amanda, and Amanda Ryan is one of the. You talk about friendship. Mm-hmm. She legitimately inspired. We're and I've been talking to her on Instagram and stuff, like just a through and through true friend.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Seriously,
she's amazing.
Seriously, and she's just a freaking hobbit, dude. Mm. So she calls Tony.
Great laugh, by the way. She has such a good laugh.
She has such a good laugh. Yeah, I know.
Great laugh.
But she calls Tony out of nowhere.
Yeah, dude.
And just says, "Tony, get here. Come on, just get here. Just show up." And I'm like, dude, it's so wild to me that people have become friends. We've had a couple get like engaged and married and stuff. We've had people like come into the group and meet. That's the whole point, man. It's like it's not all about. It's not Lane and Ez, dude. It's like we started this sort of thing, but we want people to come into our Discord. We want you to hang out there for free in Middle Earth. Go do that. We want you to become friends. Come hang out with us. We want to host you. When we do those parties, it's all like we're trying to just make up. God, I was grilling the freaking glizzies, dude. Had the glizzies out there. I was doing everything I could, man. But like, it was so cool. Like Tony was such a surprise. You know, I didn't expect him to show up. And
it was amazing.
And when he did, I was like, dude, oh my God, it was so cool. And so she was a part of making that happen. And she's just this sort of humble, just silent, kind of like more quiet, more reserved hobbit who just knows what's up, dude. Yeah. She's literally the heart and soul of a lot of what we do. And she was there at my wedding reception and stuff, dude. Yeah. Like, it's just she means a lot to me. So do all the uppers.
Was she really? She was.
Yeah, dude.
Man, that's amazing.
Dude, it's awesome.
I wasn't invited.
I know Lane was invited, but like, I know. Yeah, that was, dude. And to talk about like the shadow. Okay, for a second. Some people think that, and I just want to make this very
Make it clear. Make it clear.
Make it very clear.
Yes, please do. Because we've talked about the shadow, right?
Yeah, we've referenced the shadow, and I feel like some people are like, "Oh, we think the shadow is a specific person, place, or thing." No, it's not, guys.
No, it's not.
Like what I meant, even right there in the example where Elaine was just like, "I didn't make it as a reception." You know?
Yeah.
There are things going on in our personal lives.
Yeah.
And there are things happening gosh, I got a freaking rental car out here right now.
Yeah, you do.
Like, it feels like sometimes...
Deer tried to get you, dog.
Deer got me. Soup didn't get me this time, but the freaking deer did, okay?
The second Midwest enemy.
Geez,
soup and deer.
Soup and deer. That's the category. But, like, 1 and 2. Anyway, it's like... Okay, so I mean,
oh, man.
Sincerely, it's like there's been a lot going on the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I feel like if we would have had LEP3 2 years ago, the shadow would have been gone again. It took friendship.
Sure.
It took friendship, legitimate friendship. Yeah. John Powell freaking showing up, dude.
Yeah, man, John and Elena.
And like now, I'm like inspired by that dude, and I'm like looking at him, you know, like he was backpacking and like staying out in sub-zero. It felt like weather and stuff, and he was out on freaking Misty Mountains, literally.
Yeah, he's a monster.
Like he's a monster, and I freaking love him. And it's just, I was so inspired by everyone. Sam showing up, dude. It was just so. We talked about this a couple episodes ago. We mentioned everybody. We shouted everybody out. But like, dude, legitimately, those people inspired me. They fired me up. That friendship vanquished the shadow.
Yeah.
That's what it did.
Yeah.
And it was, and when I say shadow, like as we were alluding to there, it's not any one thing. Because people heard, you know, back in the day that we had, you know, some event in Facebook group. Let's just be real about it, okay? Mm-hmm. It is literally not, guys, that's 5-6 years ago. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel so that I kind of, sometimes we don't even remember that it happened.
Don't remember it happened. Yeah, man.
And it's just like, so I literally
water under the Brandywine Bridge, right?
Absolutely,
that's what
dude.
It is, man.
Absolutely. Sure. And I'm speaking to every single person who was like involved in that. Like, I love you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing but love,
dude. Nothing but love, baby.
I said it.
I know,
I'll go ahead and say it again. And
yeah.
It's just a thing, dude. Like when I don't know, people brought peace to me, and I already had it before. I mean, I was headed that direction. I guess I kind
of kindled it a
little
bit, right?
See. Yeah, it kindled it.
It felt like embers.
Yeah, because there were other things going on. You know, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
You talk about like I have a lot of scars on my physical body. Okay. Sorry, we're gonna get emotional, dude. I don't want to get emotional this way, but I mean, like, dude, like I often think about that, and I'm like, I don't want to open up. Like, dude, I know, man, I know what it's like to have scars, like emotionally and physically, and it just like I don't want to go back. I just want to approach everyone with love, dude. I sincerely do, Lane. I would hug these people. I would, and anyone, and that's just this one event, right? But then from there, we had all sorts of things come up in our lives, bro.
Our lives got crazy.
I was
man.
all over the world, man. I was traveling, doing different things, and so like this podcast. By the way, I can't believe we persevered. I can't believe we kept going.
Yeah, I think about that a lot too,
dude. Yeah. And by the way, just as a quick time check, if you ever weren't into Quick Counsel, this is the episode to freaking skip. because
although I have a poll that shows a majority of you are, so that's cool.
But like the thing is, like this is the episode where we were just like, let's get cut loose loose once and for all.
Well, we have a lot to catch up on,
because we're back, baby.
Yeah,
we're freaking back, and I like what I'm saying is that like anyone out there who wants a good place to talk Tolkien and who wants friends and friendship. And I'm talking about that, like friendship, dude.
Camaraderie.
Like look at the Fellowship, dude. Yeah. Like the Fellowship is everything. We freaking love the Fellowship, dude. And that's what we are. Yeah. That's what we have here. We have that where other Lord of the Rings and Tolkien communities maybe don't. And it's not a knock on them. It's just how they approached it. But like different. Yeah. But like Lane and I have always been, you know, about the soul, about the heart, about the emotions and feelings and just life, rawness, you know, like being genuine. And so I think people who want that and are into that, awesome, show up. And people who are just wanting to actually get the lore bits and whatever, blah, blah, we'll give you some of those, but you're going to get a lot of those stuff.
Get there.
So we'll get there. But like, so if you want...
It's like asking a hobbit about the directions. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get a lot of extra in between.
Right. If you only wanted that, then there's other people who would just give it to you in small bites and you're good to go. But we love you guys. I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm just so freaking pumped and inspired by our friends, man, and by the Fellowship and how it's grown. And I never thought it was going to be this way. At one point, this is where the shadow was at. At one point, we love each other. Lane and I love each other. We're freaking brothers. And at one point, I was like, I had met my Rosie. Life was going well. There was bumps. There's tons of things, personal things I won't share that were going on. And I think people respect that. It's your personal freaking life. You know what I mean? So, but at one point we were like, should we shut her down?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Should we shut her down?
Should we shut her down?
And now I can never see us having that conversation. In this, like sitting here now, I can never see us having that conversation again. Same. It's amazing. It's. I feel like I'm born again, dude. It's nuts.
I know. I feel the same way. No. I feel the same way. And I think, there were definitely times where the crazy thing, it was like in the past, I mean, it's really been like 3 or 4 years, honestly. It's been, we were in The Hobbit when Viggo had his surgery, 2022, January 2022, on Tolkien's birthday, actually, January 3rd, right? And, a week-long stay turned into 2.5 months.
Right.
And our lives completely changed. And, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about Quick Counsel too, and how everyone I talked to, I'm thinking specifically like Sam and John. Yeah. I'm thinking about Josh.
Yes.
Alex. I'm thinking about, they said, that your guys' openness and honesty and talking about real stuff. Stephen Matthews talked before. Lots of people. You know what I mean? It's something that I always kind of feel sort of, my natural propensity is to share all that stuff. But, when things happen and you don't necessarily know how to communicate things too, you kind of recoil a little bit. But I thought to myself lately, and especially after LEP3, I was like, you know what? I think, how many times have we heard as people reach out to us and say, you guys sharing something or you guys being honest about something really helped me in a time. And I think to myself, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe sorry, dude. Maybe we should because it's something that we, I don't want anyone to think I'm not proud of my life. We talk about the Ainur, looking at this vision that there was a real. I know we're kind of talking about the chapter, but it's all, but
it's fine,
whatever. Fine. But they see all of creation from beginning to end, almost the end, not quite the end, laid out before them, and they think it actually happens. And then the darkness happens, and they perceive darkness, and they realize, wait a minute. That didn't actually happen. That was just a vision of what could be, and then they have to go or decide to go and craft it into being.
Yep.
And it's a struggle, and it's hard.
Yep.
And there's no guarantees.
Right. Nothing.
And I think to myself, I'm like, dude, this is how much I love my life. If someone said you could go back and you could change something, you could tweak something, there's not a thing I would change. And in fact, my biggest fear, dude, is if somehow I woke up and I was 12.
Yeah.
Right? And I would have to, I don't want my voice is cracking. I'm fine, I promise.
You're good, dude.
If I had to go back when I was like 12 and say, got to get back to where you were, man, if you want it bad enough. That's my worst fear, because I would be constantly paralyzed with making sure that I made every exact decision the same way, because in my life, dude, truly, I have no regrets. Even times where I've screwed up, effed up, messed up, hurt people, done the wrong thing, hurt myself, hurt people I love the most. I think those are things that I've learned from, ways that I've been shown I need to better myself or help other people or be less of a dick, whatever.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but yeah. 3 years ago, right? When we were in the thick of The Hobbit, we were in the hospital for longer than we thought. Our lives changed totally. And I want to talk about it a little bit too, like just catching up, because I can't even remember, honestly, dude, how much I've shared about just the way our lives changed. And so I'll start with Sarah, right? I'll start with Goldberry. Is that cool if I do this for a little bit?
Please do.
I'm not going to go too long, but I do want to share it, because I told Sarah, I was like, is it okay if I talk about stuff that's been going on? She said, please.
Yeah.
Please do. Sarah is transparent. Sarah is...
she's... Yep, you're good.
There's a technical difficulty with the mic. It's not me. She's superhuman, dude. When I think of an Ainur, I think of my wife. Like, and how I definitely don't deserve her. There are ways that I behave and act at times where I think I don't honor like the gift that my wife is, like her friendship, and like how brave and strong she constantly is. And I think, like, I know you have it, dude. I think about other people. I know a lot of people have it. A lot of people are lucky enough to be with someone who is just an incredible human being that is the best kind of partner for life, that helps them through anything. And it really is like when Sarah and I have looked at the last like 3 or 4 years when it's been difficult at times, we think about Sam and Frodo, and I think I'm like, she's Sam, dude. You know, she's 100% for me. But and we're kind of on this sort of isolated, lonely path at times, going through Mordor is what it really feels like. But you know, so anyway, she's superhuman. She's superhuman. When we were in the hospital with Vigo, we were there for 2.5 months. You know, he had heart surgery that he had a lot of trouble recovering from. In that amount of time, there were all these underlying genetic findings that they found right after he was born, actually. And I know I've shared that kind of story before of his birth. You know, he almost died. His umbilical cord had a true knot in it. He couldn't breathe. We had to go to Children's. The first week of his life, we were at Children's Hospital in the NICU. And they did this deep dive on his genetics and found all these different really rare conditions that he has, right? And just a truly unique genetic makeup. The way he was created is totally different from most other people in the world. Like literally, he's one of hundreds in the world. So anyway, God, I'm going to lose my train of thought like crazy. But anyway, we were in the hospital. You know, he had to have heart surgery. The heart surgery went well, but then he had a lot of trouble recovering. I won't get into all the details. Had a lot of trouble recovering. A lot of these genetic findings that we thought might have just been, not necessarily wouldn't present themselves, did actually present themselves. We found out in that time that his diagnosis, if you will, is an SMA with respiratory distress. It's called SMARD1. Again, he's one of like hundreds of people in the world who have this exact condition. He could not get off of being intubated. He was intubated and was having Brady desats. Like, man, God, dude, one of those dark days in late January, February. He was having Brady desats like every couple hours, and it was anytime he would clamp down, he literally would his heart rate would drop and his blood ox would drop, and they would have to bring him back every time and rescue him. And it got to the point where we were like, how do we get home? That was our only thought was, how do we get home, right? And so anyway, they said, we can't tell you what to do, but eventually him being intubated, if we try to extubate, it's probably not going to work. With him being intubated like this, one of these times he's gonna drop, and we're not going to be able to bring him back. And we're like, okay, well, what do we do? How do we help him get home? And they're like, well, you can think about a tracheotomy. And that's something that would, he could have forever. He could grow out of it. At this point, it doesn't really matter. And he would need to be, have a ventilator. And that's a way you could get home. And we were like, wow, geez, like what a decision you have to make for not yourself. Not even your parents. Like your parents, you think about it's really talk about perspective, like seeing the house from the road, not being able to see the house from the road, seeing the road from the house kind of deal. Like I think about people who are old and have medical issues and who pass away. It is difficult. It is sad. But I think like there's nothing more heart wrenching than when it's your kid. When it's someone young, a baby that and especially when you're making decisions for that kid. I'm sure your parents felt that, dude, when you were a kid. I know they did. So anyway, we were like, if it helps him get home, let's do the trach, And so, and again, there was a lot of fear with that. There was a lot of, again, I could spend hours unpacking all of the emotions that we felt with that. But the important thing was it stabilized him enough to get him home, right? Stabilized him enough to reunite him with his sisters, right? Who were going back and forth between my parents and Sarah's parents for 2.5 months. Again, unpredictable. And they were babies. Like we look back on it now and we thought they were big kids. They were
babies. Yep. Innocent babies.
Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so again, the mic is cutting out. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, all that changed our lives in such a way that, so what happened with Sarah? Sarah, we came to the point we had been in the hospital for 2.5 years. Jeez, it feels like that. 2.5 months, right? And we get home, and one of the realities was, I went back to teaching, and the reality for Sarah was, I mean, well, for both of us really, but she had already been kind of feeling, I don't think she'll mind me sharing this, kind of like some anxiety from teaching, and she was really overanalyzing everything. It was becoming to the point where it wasn't as enjoyable anymore. She was always afraid she was doing something wrong. She was never doing anything wrong. Mm-hmm. My wife is like so hypersensitive and overly critical of herself, and so self-aware and almost like overly accommodating to people mm-hmm. in a way. She cares about other people to a fault more than herself, right? Yeah. So, but she had kind of gotten to a point where she was like, I don't enjoy teaching anymore. Like, I'm more worried about something I do innocently being taken out of context, or someone getting upset, or me hurting someone,
sure.
That sure. I would rather not. Right. So because at that point we decided like we would either have to, one of us would have to stay home, or we would have to, we qualified, believe it or not, through our insurance for an in-home nurse 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
And so a nurse would need to stay home with us, to be able to take care of Vigo. So, but she decided in that time that she would stay home. She would be his primary, caregiver and caretaker, and she would, when the girls were ready, be their teacher, homeschool.
Yep.
And so that we lost a lot of time together, really, at the end of the day. And even after we got back, there was another like 3-month period of time where we were separated. I was with the girls at my parents' house, and she and Vigo were together. We couldn't be together for medical reasons. And it was another for 1 whole year, we lost about 7 months of time living in the same place. And for a family who the only thing the thing we love most is being together, that was incredibly difficult. It was a weight to bear that, again, you can't, I mean, for the second half of it, we couldn't really share anyway, because it was part of a stipulation or whatever. And then, and just then on top of it too, like who can understand that? Like, it's not really something, I told Sarah, I'm like, most of the time families in this situation is because, or families in this similar situation are because the parents are getting divorced. Like that's not what we want to be together. Like we want to, not that saying that people who get divorced don't want to be but like there was no other reason other than our situation. Right. So anyway, in that amount of time, I've seen her become, she was already at like a godlike level for me anyway. Yeah. I've seen her like just continue to rise, to continue to do things that I could never do. She went away. I'll just give an example. She went away for a few days, a couple weekends ago, and, what she does every day, I had to do for a few days, and I was exhausted. I felt drained. Yeah. I was nervous all the time. I felt anxious. I could do it because of who our kids are. Our kids are incredible. Yeah. I'm gonna talk about them in a minute. They're exceptional human beings as well. Like I don't know. They might not be human. I don't know, dude. I think I'm the only human in my family. Yeah. The new dog included. And, but I thought to myself, I'm like, my God, dude, it gave me a whole new appreciation of what she does every day. But again, she's like the pinnacle of motherhood. She's an incredible teacher. She's an incredible caretaker. She's the best wife in the world, dude. So yeah, Goldberry's legend only continues to grow. So she's retired, I guess, quote unquote. She doesn't quote unquote work, but she busts her ass and works harder than anybody I know,
she's
man.
Inspiring, bro.
She is inspiring. Yeah. So she teaches the kids at home right now. Winnie is in 2nd grade. Charlotte is in 1st grade. Ruth's in kindergarten. And Vigo is doing pre-K stuff, man. I mean, the amazing thing about him is, he does so many things that he shouldn't like be able to do. He has a ventilator. He's 24/7 on a ventilator with a trach. He speaks over his vent, which is incredibly difficult to do. So I mean, he never stops talking, dude. He's been doing this thing. He's been making me late for work. He's been doing this thing in the morning because it's so hard for me to leave. I will just like in the morning. He has morning therapies that help a lot. And that's another cool thing too, is we have all these therapies at home that we're able to do that we didn't have initially, that have made traveling, that have made staying out of the hospital, that have made daily life just so much more enjoyable and beautiful. And I think people, I don't know, people without this experience, they might look at it and go, oh, that's, they might have a different perspective, but it's not true. Like, that's not the reality. The reality is that there is joy and happiness and love and a depth, dude, a depth that, man, you talk about. I think in this chapter we talk about the depths. We talk about, I think it's in relation to Melkor, so that's not so good. But from the bottom of the ocean, above the waves, all the way to the heights and the ice. There's this depth that we have that is unbelievable in our daily lives. But
yeah, you do.
So anyway, Yeah, he's talking. He's we have adaptive devices that help him. Sarah's been helping him write his name. So the Smith School of Learning and Academic Excellence is something that I made up as like a joke at first, but we're the Slayers, the SSLAE. But that's our home school. It's really, really cool. Sarah's the best. I mean, if it gives you any indication, my wife, dude, this is crazy. Huge shout out to my old principal, Shannon Burke. She's the greatest boss I'll ever have. She helped us again during this whole time. She made it possible for us to be at the hospital with Vigo when he was there. Never lost pay. Got sick time donated to us that we would not have had. Yeah. I was ready to come back to work because I thought I'd have to after like 2 weeks, and then they were going to have to be at the hospital by themselves. She made that. I never had to write a lesson plan. She did things for me, man, that no boss would have to do, nor would be expected to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, she said of Sarah one time in an evaluation for me, she was like, you know what, Lane, I love you. You're a great teacher. I would trade 1,000 of you to have your wife back. I was like, okay. Hey, I was like, me too, man. Hey, no objection. I know.
Right.
So anyway, the kids are
in a weird way, it's a compliment to you.
It is a compliment. I'm like, yes, like, I know. Like,
yeah, thank you.
I mean, if I'm a fraction of that, dude, I'm doing all right, dog.
Yeah.
So anyway, she stays with the kids at home. They get out of the house all the time. It's crazy. They're always doing fun stuff. Most days I go to work and I wish I could stay home.
Yeah.
Which that's great for hobbits. Winnie is going to be 8 years old in December, dude.
Crazy.
Again,
dude.
As old as the podcast.
Old as the podcast.
She is.
Man.
She's amazing. She said something the other day. Actually, I saved the text. I won't read it, but she said something like, Sarah was sick this past week. And my mother-in-law came over very graciously to help out because, again, like so with Vigo's SMA, I mean, he has very limited mobility. He can't walk. He can't move his legs really. He can booty bump for sure. He moves his glutes like crazy. He'll dance and stuff.
Yeah.
He can move one of his left arm really well. We call him a lefty because it's his left arm. He can move really well. He can rotate his head pretty well, but like can't sit up on his own. He needs assistance that way. He's unable to walk, so we carry him around. We put him in a stroller. I mean, shoot, dude, we'll hold him and put his vent on and his pulse ox and run around the yard. I mean, that's something he loves to do as well. But when you're sick and you're the only parent at home, it's really kind of difficult. So Gina came over. Big move by Gina. Anyway, Winnie was stepping up too and helping because Sarah was like immobilized, dude. She was like, it was not good. She was really sick. And when he was helping switch out some stuff, his tubing, and then she was giving him a suction, which is something that if you are common with, or if you have any experience with someone with a trach, that's something you got to do to get the mucus out. You're usually unable to cough up stuff on your own and get a mucus plug, you can die. Mm-hmm. So she's doing that kind of stuff, and she looks in the moment. She goes, "You know what, Mom?" She goes, "I love Vigo so much." She said, dude, it's crazy. She goes, "I hope I have a kid just like Vigo someday." Yeah. So they don't see. They don't think it's weird. They don't think it's different. They don't think it's odd or abnormal or different. Yep. Man. And dude, it gets heavy sometimes too. Like the weight, right? Of something's wrong with the mic again. Oh, we gotta get these fixed, dude.
Sorry, dude. I'll get them fixed.
Anyway, the weight, of just making sure he's comfortable. When you love someone who can't move for themselves, you feel that that mandate to help them achieve whatever they want to achieve. Mm-hmm. Because it's not fair, right? It's just not fair, and it's how he was made, dude. It's how he was created. So to help him achieve whatever he wants to achieve, you're always on your toes. Yep. And I would be remiss to not say that sometimes it is exhausting. Yeah, it's exhausting because it's you're constantly thinking about it from sun up to sundown. You're either tapping each other out or it's one person all day. But the amazing thing about our girls, dude, is they will they see that and then they step in without a thought. Man, the other day, when he could tell that I was getting kind of tired, I was probably visibly grumpy or something. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, and she's like, "Dad, I got it. You're okay. I got him." Wow, man. She sits him up. She will, he loves having his arm up, but once it falls down, it's hard for him to get it back up. So we assist him with that. She was doing that for him. Yeah. And she can sense it. She has an awareness and she pays an attention to him that is just unbelievable, dude. It's unbelievable.
She's firstborn, buddy.
Yes, she's a firstborn. God, dude. She's strong. She's magnetic. she's dude, her personality is intoxicating. She makes everyone feel loved and seen. And that's my Winnie girl. Charlotte Jean is amazing, dude. She's going to be, she's 6.5, dude. She's 6.5. She has emotional intelligence. She has a depth of feeling that I will never achieve. She is someone who is thoughtful and attentive, and she will do things to a T. She will sit there on a project, whether she's like I've never taught the kids to draw, really. It's something I always love, but it's something that like her sisters do it as well, but she like especially will get this little notepad out and she will just draw and teach herself all these different things. And for hours, just sit there. She does puzzles. She loves math. She's so thoughtful, and she's not always the most outgoing. She's not always the most, when she is, she's hilarious and funny and cute and very like whoa, what is that? You're so funny. But she doesn't need to be. She doesn't like get her jollies that way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not how she validates herself, but, or finds validation, whatever. But she's so thoughtful and loving and sensitive, and she sees things. She sees people. We went to the fair last week. Our county fair was last week. Am I going too long?
No, you're fine.
Okay, dude. I'm almost done. County fair last week. Vigo wanted to get on a ride. We thought he meant he said the animals. We thought he meant the carousel. He meant the pony ride. Okay. Yeah. And again, like this is not an easy thing. Yeah. I was like, man, I don't know. Okay, is it Sarah was like, let's get him up there. Let's go. He wants to go. Let's go. She puts his ventilator on, which by the way is not light. Puts his pulse on. I know Seth would know. I've talked, Seth has commented, Moldenauer has commented because he works in ICU and he has experience with, hospital. He's a saint, dude. Yeah. Anyway, heavy. The horses are like whatever, the ponies, the people don't really understand who are worried. They've probably never seen a kid like Vigo get on a pony ride, right? So, but we make it happen. It's the three sisters and Vigo on the ponies. And anyway, through the process, like his vent pops off. Sarah's got to get him off the horse, holding him, and he's a big dude, holding him, and then trying to get his tubing back on so that he doesn't die. Yeah. I'm running in. The guy's yelling at me for running into the ride. I'm like, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about, bro. I'm going over there to try and help. We get him out. Anyway, I take Vigo home that night, put him to bed. We had bro time, all good. And another disaster averted, through Sarah. Yeah. But they stayed at the fair, watched the demo derby. And on the way home, Charlotte this is just her. This stuff percolates. Yeah. She was like, you know what, mommy? If I ever grow up and own a fair, I want to make a place where all the rides are accessible so that people like Vigo can get them. It's just like, what? What kid is, again, so just amazing and thoughtful. And Ruth is so funny, and she's our wild card, dude, man.
Dude, she's a wild card.
Ruth is unpredictable in all the best ways. She has such a, she's so full of life. She's so full of life. And she is truly a friend. Like when you talk about like her name meaning friend, that's 100% what she is. She is, oh gosh, dude. She's always wrestling. She's always putting on a show. She's always like, Daddy, look at me. Check this out. She's my little buddy, man. She's obsessed with her mom. She's not a daddy's girl. She's a mama's girl for sure. She's obsessed with Sarah. I call her Second Chance Sarah because Sarah talks about like all these like things from childhood where she's like, man, this was not the best. Yeah. Whatever. And I'm like, well, she's just like you. She's getting all this attention, right? And she's gonna be second chance Sarah. That all good. She doesn't think it's very funny, but I think it's funny. But anyway, she is a vivacious. She's got Betty Davis eyes, little princess eyes, and she's just beautiful. And then Vigo man's the man, dude. I feel like I've talked to him about him a bunch, but the other day he did something that like moved me beyond description, dude. We were sitting there. He has ways of surprising you for sure. He's always happy. He does not seem like, I don't know. I think he's aware that he's different from everybody else, but it doesn't bother him, dude. It doesn't let him stop the way he sees life. Again, we've talked about this. I think he's seen something beyond. Yeah. I think he's aware of something that the rest of us can only believe in. Yep. Like he knows it. And, but anyway, he said to me the other day, he said, Day, you're my best friend. And dude, it blew a hole in me like I never thought I would feel that deep of a feeling, and it messed me up, man. So anyway, it's been crazy, right? So it's like we're a single income family in tough times. Like I hate going to work. I mean, I love my job, but I hate leaving my family because you just never know what's going to happen in the course of a day. Again, like you can get on a pony ride and you can disconnect from your vent and almost die.
Right.
So, every day is kind of fraught with, it's almost like we're on this little canoe going through rapids every single day.
Right.
You just never know what's going to happen. But again, that again, like I've talked about in the past, how he's changed our perspective, that makes life very beautiful. It makes life very beautiful because there is nothing for granted. You can't take anything for granted. Nothing is a given, man. There is no tomorrow. Yeah, so
that's true.
But anyway, that's been the last 4 years in a nutshell, I guess. There's been lots of ups and downs in between. Like there have been stretches that have been really hard where I thought we were all going to break apart. There are other times where it's literally paradisical. Like it's utopia. You know what I'm saying? So
if I can chime in, just
I'm done, dude. I'm sorry I went so long.
Oh no, you're fine, brother. This is literally like I've talked a lot about this a lot of times, and there's I'm so thankful actually that you're willing to share all of that. A lot of people, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell, but like I feel like it does give people a perspective. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
I really do, and I think that helps us. Like I'm talking about, like as a listener, as someone listening to you tell that story. And then us being your friends, right? And you being my brother. Like it gives me perspective. It gives me, pause. Every time I'm down there, I love being around you guys. I love being around like the spirit and the energy that you have. And again, you're raw about it. Yeah, not everything's great.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh yeah, no, hell no.
I mean, like, dude, that's where I don't know, and that's the same for a lot of people. But like again, it's just good. It's good for us to know.
Sure. It's
good for us to know like who we all are.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
and I know sometimes like some people feel like, well, because in your situation, it's like how many people in the world, like you said, know what you're going. Not a lot. Not a lot.
Yeah.
So again, it's important to share that. And I feel like I'm so glad that like uppers have embraced it and have listened to you and been like and been thankful for you sharing for your story and stuff. Because Lottie and I talk all the time. I'm like I can, I didn't always share my story with children's a whole lot. I didn't have a podcast, didn't whatever. But like I remember feeling different and different things and not wanting to talk about it and not being. Like it making people feel different and making them feel kind of like, a certain way or whatever. And you do have to kind of, once you get over it and once you are genuine and open and you share the good and the bad, it's amazing how that helps people actually.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. Like we talk about friendship and we talk about just like the journey together, like, for example, Luke, when Luke's in there, his biggest problem is that right now, just a recent thing, we took something from him. That's his biggest problem. That's his whole world.
That's everything, man.
That's his whole world.
If you think about it, though, that's everything.
That's everything.
Everyone's biggest problem is when something's taken from them.
Yes, dude. And so like, so I thought of
very relatable.
And I'm about to make this full circle here. So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about so Lane and I are both teachers, and I teach at the high school level. I was called into kind of an emergency meeting, and I can't share, obviously,
details.
Can never share a whole lot of details. Nope. But what I can share is that the individual in this meeting, one of the parents shared something that rocked me to my core. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I think this helps people with perspective. Like, what's your whole world? You know what I mean? Like, for the student that I was teaching the next period, her whole world was I have 4 tests today. The next kid, it was like her whole world was her boyfriend broke up with her, right? It's it's just all these different perspectives. Like you said, perspectives. Yeah. And it's good for us to share and talk and communicate and live together with each other because we don't know. And so I'm sitting there walking into this meeting and the mother, and we're like, are there any factors that might like kind of contribute to, what's going on with your son? And she said, yeah, like his dad was taken. He was taken. And I'm like, my jaw kind of hit the floor and I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like taken back to his home country. Apprehended by ICE and taken back. Yeah. And I just thought, and so I don't say that to get political, none of that stuff. Yeah. I simply share that to say everyone has something going on. You know what I mean? Like there's stuff. Yeah. There are people in all around the world going through warfare, like different things. It's like that's their whole world. Yeah. And so that's why I'm saying to you, like, thank you for sharing that because it's a hard thing to share. it was hard, and you could hear something was wrong with her microphone too. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? Like, like it was hard for her to share that, but it was important that we knew that. And I was like, oh my God, dude, now I get it. Yeah. Now I understand.
We talk about all the time, like how and Sarah's done a real good job of it is, because it's exhausting to share too, right? Like it's one of those things where you're like, you know, do I don't know. There's all kinds of pros and cons to openness and honesty. And I think, I think in the end, it's always, it's exhausting. So it's hard to do all the time. But when you can do it, when you feel up to it, I think it's always the right thing, because the opposite is isolation. I think the opposite is isolation. And even if people don't understand, your perspective, like true friends don't care. They don't care that they can't understand. They just want to be with you. They want to find where you are and stand with you. Even if they can't see your perspective, they want to stand in the same spot as you and help you through something. And so that's the one thing that we've talked about too, is like, you know, we have all these friends who, and likewise, there's things in their life we'll never understand. Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's just like being there for each other. And again, like sharing, like, hey, this is a hard day because of this. Even if you can't understand it, like you share with me, I can't understand. Yeah.
But I would even say too, like there's times where like, even something that like maybe I'm going through that like I'm not ready to share yet.
Yeah.
That's also because it's fair. Like,
fair enough.
Because you're trying to figure out. I always hated this idea that like everybody had to be at a certain level of evolution, blah, blah, blah.
No.
Whatever.
No, dude,
it's like,
no.
It's like, I hate that, because I'm like, people are, I'm thinking, every day we're working with kids. Every day we're working with kids' parents. Every day we have families come through our rooms. You and I have a lot of different perspectives actually to kind of consider and think about. And it always blows me away. I'm just sort of like, why do people think that everyone needs to be, and it sounds like I'm getting kind of preachy or whatever, but why does everybody think that everyone needs to be where they are currently in life journey?
Hell no.
It's just crazy.
And to your point there, I think to myself, I don't think I could have shared it the way I did, even in this abbreviated fashion before now. Because there's something too, when you go through something like you have to reckon with it yourself too. There's all kinds of like inner turmoil that happens, and like ebbs and flows and goods and bads, and like, you know, finding a way through yourself first. And that takes time too before you're able to share it in any kind of like meaningful way, or a way that you feel ready to do. So I think like it's taken me this long. It's taken me this long to to be able to grapple with it and be like, this is reality, and it is also good. It's both of those things. Like, and it could seem like someone else's worst nightmare, and that used to bother me. It used to bother me, but in the end, it doesn't really matter someone else's perspective on your life. It matters how it feels to you, truly how it feels.
That's true.
And I think to myself, like, again, I wouldn't want to go back in time and have to get here again, because I'm afraid I wouldn't end up in the same spot.
Yeah, dude. Something that Alex has said, and my dad has said the same thing, is that, and I'll go ahead and tell you that it's how I think about fatherhood too. The way you've approached fatherhood, you don't give yourself enough credit. I'm gonna be real with you for just a second, dude. And I know you don't like to hear this, and I know, you know, again, I heard everything you said with Sarah and the kids and everything, but there are people like myself, like my father, like Alex, that literally have learned many things from you. And it's amazing, bro. And I'm telling you, dude, like even that humbleness, I always sometimes feel like, you often ask yourself, what would Aragorn do? And I actually have caught myself a few times, what would Lane do? Like, what would Lane do here? You know what I mean? Like, seriously, and it's an inspiring thing. And I tell you that because, like, I like truly have gotten, even though I've just been sort of by the side, you know, in your whole experience, it's just like, dude, there's so many things that I've grown and developed as a person. And I know, here's the other thing too, people listening, people who came to LAP3 too, got to see the Smith family. People, they were, you know, like, it's a blessing, bro. Like, this is that's the thing. And I know sometimes you and I have talked about this, like, off the pod, people will, you know, just the way they approach things, like, wouldn't think that, you know, that you've been blessed in some capacity. But to me, it's a blessing to be around you and to be around your family, and to, like, you guys are such a joy and such a bright light. But yet, take this full circle, there are shadows. Mm-hmm. There still are shadows, you know. And so I just wanted to say that because it's like that's it's real, and again, it's important for us, I think, me and you, to discuss all of this as we were going back into this whole new phase, bro. Yeah. Because literally, we're going to be up at my place, down at your place, back and forth, and it's I feel like there's been over the last couple of years like a reluctance to really, I don't know, air it all out, like let it all out there, and to really just share with people, and because you do sometimes, how do I put this? Like, sometimes you'll share, and then there's like, I don't know, the response you think you're going to get, it's another shadow. If that makes sense. It's not intentional. No. It's not intentional or whatever, but it's sort of like, it's been this sort of experience that you've had and that I've been, you know, kind of privy to or whatever. And so I actually kind of wondered before we started this episode, I was like, what's Lane going to share? What we going to talk about during quick counsel? Where are you at? Because again, dude, I can sit here and like, it's your story. It's you know what I'm saying? And it's like, we each have our own, but it's just, where are we and what are we willing to share? Because we felt so good. You know, dude, I can even think back to this past summer, dude. All the crap, dude, not even to get into all that. Dude, this summer was nuts.
It sucked. It was a bad summer.
Go ahead
and
say it. It freaking sucked.
Shit crazy summer, dog.
We planned on seeing you guys. We planned on going down in June.
This was the summer of hangout. Yeah.
The summer of hangout was going to be in June. And we had nothing. Lottie and I were like, thank God we're finally there.
Yes.
And it's just like, dude, so when we tell you guys this story, it's sort of like, I've thought about the perspective of a listener who like came in 2 years ago and they're like, what happened to these guys? Like, I mean, seriously, if they don't know and they've not gone through the episodes, like, funny, wait, man. What happened in the Hobbit? They're only in like Fellowship, and they're like, wait, what happened, dude? I went to Patreon, nothing's there. I went to Discord, what's shut down?
Facebook
like, Ghost
off.
Town. Ghost Town. It's freaking Ghost Town. Like, and so, or people were like, well, you know, and it's just been, I feel like it's just good to share it, dude. I mean, I feel like it's just good to talk about it and to share with our friends and our extended family, essentially. Like, it's it's something that it's just been. I'm in a weird way. Like, again, you share all that. It's like all those things were really exciting. You know what I mean? Yeah, all of your kids are like they're literally.
I know, man. They're
inspirational.
Yes,
and I sit here and I think about Luke, and I think about like him growing up.
He's gonna save the Cleveland Browns, dude.
That's
what he's gonna do. He's gonna save my team.
Yeah, but it's just like I can't wait. You know, Lottie and I have been talking a lot about like trying to embrace like a slowness of life. And slowing down a little bit. And a part of this, and sometimes it gets kind of mixed. It's like, well, I mean, you're influenced by friends, by family, by all sorts of different things. You don't even know what exactly sometimes, all these different things that are impacting you. But it's been like on our hearts that like, we got to slow down. Like, we need to enjoy this. Yeah. We just sit down and enjoy this time together. Man. And like literally, like, we need to go seek out our friends. We need to go seek out your family more. We need to take Luke to Germany. We need to do all these different things. And so it's caused me to just, one, be thankful, be grateful, but also, I don't know, just give me great pause. Yeah. If that makes sense. Oh, yeah. Even though we're starting this awesome, and I'm like so freaking stoked to do all the things that we're doing, it's just caused me to pause for a moment and say linger. And actually, that's kind of what it feels like, isn't it? Yeah. Of this whole freaking episode is to linger a little bit into these times. Yeah. Listening. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, I love you, man. Dude. I can't thank you enough for being my brother, you know, and for, just your friendship, dude, and everyone out there who is our, you know, a friend to us and to our family and everything. And again, without friends, you know, I mean, I don't know, like it's a tricky thing with me and God, right? And that's okay. Yeah. I think I've also resolved myself to think like it's okay to have a complicated relationship with you know, spiritually, whatever. But unquestionably, I've seen like true beauty and light and love come from friends and sometimes even strangers and acquaintances. And that's, there's power in that. And I think sometimes we don't give that enough credit. We think that like our actions don't really matter or what, I'm not going to make a difference, but it's like Gandalf said, those small things, it's those little kindnesses that shape everything. So yeah, don't underestimate that in yourself. If you're thinking like, I don't know, I'm not gonna say nothing. It doesn't matter. The world's gone to hell. It doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter. Think about our heroes in this story. If they would have felt that same or given into that feeling, they feel that all the time, I think.
Right.
But if they would have given into that feeling, and you're not going to either, so don't. You know what I'm saying? Just like let that inner love and inspiration and the call to what's right guide you.
Let it guide you, dude.
I know that everyone. I'm not trying to sound preachy either. I think everyone does, but you get into funks where you're just like, man, screw it.
Yeah.
Forget it. But don't fight that. Fight that as much as you can because that's what matters. So
we all do, bro.
Yeah.
And I remember, captains of light, baby. We're gonna always be captains of light.
Yeah.
So
before we go into dropping Eaves, I got to drop some peas.
I was about to say, dude, I can't
My
believe you just said that.
full as heck.
I can't believe you just said that. So
good old-fashioned pee break?
If you've looked over here, a couple times I've been like,
I see it up in your eyes. I see it in your eyes.
You see my eyes? My legs shaking?
They're wet.
I've had some PB&J. I've been sucking this thing down, dude.
I got to pee, dude.
All right, here we go.
So bad. All right. Well, thanks for letting us make that the unquickest council of all time. But we really appreciate you guys. That's for everyone who said they missed catching up. I wonder if they still miss it now. But no, it means a lot to us. I recently put a poll up on Instagram. We've been putting polls up there, and I said, what's your favorite part of the old OG format? And it was split like equally between each of the 4 parts that I had listed. So I was pretty impressed with that, which means, I don't know, I feel like it's a pretty balanced thing we got going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Droppin Eaves. We've got, believe it or not, Amazon show news, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on.
Season 3 of Rings of Power is being promoted. This was, probably about a month ago. We got this little kind of teaser, behind the scenes sort of video. It was confusing to me because it was like a teaser, but it was clearly just like a prop being handed to Elendil. It was kind of cool. We were seeing.
I think I missed it.
Yeah, we were seeing. Wow. Oh my gosh, dude. Narsil. I couldn't remember Anduril before Anduril. Narsil. I was thinking Anduril, the sword formerly known as. We see Narsil being delivered to Elendil, and it's all very like cloaked, even though we know who Elendil is, and it's we get this location, and so that's a pretty cool thing. We've got a release date, kind of a loose release date of late 2026. So this time next year, or early to mid 2027. Yes, sir. I see that hand.
So. Is it not that Hunt for Gollum is coming out in mid? Wait.
Trying to beat it.
Is it trying to beat it?
Trying to beat it. I don't think it wants to coexist with Hunt for Gollum. That's for sure. So
they're different. It's one's a movie, one's
like show, next year would be consistent with every 2 years, right? 2022, 2024, 2026.
Do you think
which makes sense?
Amazon Studios has conversations about Hunt for Gollum, and they're like, "Wow, what are they doing? Are they competing with us? Is it a competition?"
Yeah, I think Payne and McKay, especially when they came out and said that Gollum's their favorite character and they wish they could have included him into the show.
Is it a competition, though? You know what I'm saying?
I think it is.
Or are they just trying to build, do they see it as like, hey, we're both in Middle-earth, we're trying to make some magic, or what?
I think it is a competition. Yeah, no, I think it's a competition.
Imagine if another Star Wars company just popped up and started making Star Wars.
Yes.
And people like their Star Wars stuff more than...
Right.
I feel like it's hard for it not to be.
It's definitely competition. So, yeah, and I think there's all kinds of shade being thrown that maybe, I don't know. Maybe people think we're reading too much into, but I don't think we are. I think there's definitely, Peter Jackson. I never got a script to read. They said they were going to send me some.
They ghosted him.
Never saw a script. Why would you not want Peter Jackson to read your script? I don't know. It's beyond me. And then, going all the way to, the showrunner saying Gollum's our favorite. We would love to incorporate Gollum. And then, oh, hey, we're making the Hunt for Gollum. Okay. To all the little odd kind of like trolls within War of the Rohirrim that were clearly, derived from Rings of Power. So, yeah. Anyway, late 2026. At the very latest, early to mid 2027, we'll be getting season 3. Okay. Some really interesting casting updates, though. We've got Jamie Bauer Campbell, who's Vecna in Stranger Things. He's been officially cast as a series regular. I don't know. Is he Celeborn? Is he another form of Sauron? Who is he? I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? Well, interesting. Hold on. Wait. He's Vecna.
Yeah,
in Stranger Things.
Yeah, he's Vecna in Stranger Things. Great actor. He's also a musician. So he's recently been announced.
Oh my God, dude! He's like Grindelwald in Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, he's the young Grindelwald.
Okay.
So he's a really cool dude.
Yeah, he's a great actor. So again, like a name like that attached to it, you're like, dang that. I think they're using that to try and like keep us interested. Like, okay, what are you going to do with him?
I mean, that's cool.
It's just curiosity at this point, for us, and it's got to be Celeborn. Yeah. So we'll have a love triangle.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Because hold on,
he's dead though.
We're gonna let these linger. We're gonna let this linger. Jamie Campbell Bower.
Yeah.
Saying it right?
Yeah, you got it. All three.
Okay.
3 names.
All
okay.
Right.
Power 3.
Jamie Campbell Bower.
Yes.
Is most likely going to be Celeborn.
Yes.
Where has he been?
Yeah. Where has he been?
If you had to answer the question right now, if you're the showrunners and you had to come up with it, Lane Smith.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. This is hard. I'll help you.
Am I supposed to think like them or me?
God, I don't know.
I mean, that's
tough. Where has he been? What's going on?
I mean,
what's the story or the plot?
Sort of the precedent I think that the show has set is that like there's no right or wrong answer. I mean, these are the same people who were like, Adar actually killed Sauron, and he's the daddy of the orcs.
Yeah,
right.
You can say anything you want.
So like Celeborn was setting up franchises down south. He's got a bunch of half elves down in the Southlands.
Good God.
He was siring bastards. I mean, you could do whatever you wanted. It almost doesn't even matter. So it's almost like, again, I see that and I'm like, if he is Celeborn, I'm down just for the spectacle. I kind of want to see, how are you going to try to get people involved to try and justify this as Tolkienian?
And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Like again, I would ask anyone who is seeing this clip or reel, because I'm obviously going to clip this up. I mean, obviously, I'm going to clip this up because I want to know Jamie Campbell Bower is cast as Celeborn. And you have to tell me before the show comes out, where was he prior to now?
Where's the justification?
And by the way, you can't use Tolkien's words because it don't make a lick of sense.
Right.
I mean, like, if they were going to do that, he would have already been there. So
he got lost at sea looking for Galadriel. The monster swallowed him. He transcended into a ball of light.
You could literally say that hey, Valinor sent this new print. I mean, you could say that he was, that he was in Lothlorien possibly, or who knows wherever.
Had too many gummies down,
maybe, dude.
In Linden. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe he's hanging out with the Blue Wizards.
Might be.
Something.
Maybe he's the voice we heard in Tom Bombadil's house.
He could be. He could. Honestly, that's what I'm saying. So I challenge anyone who is, a Rings of Power fan, which again, I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. Okay.
Yeah. Amen.
So if you're a Rings of Power fan, where is Celeborn? What is your story going into season 3? You are the creator. You're Payne and McKay. Where do you put him? Where does he come from? And if there's a way to use Tolkien lore, cool. Go ahead and throw that at me because I'll tell you right now where he was in lore. As I said I would do. I'm going to start doing this as a very matter of fact thing. Yeah. Where he was in lore, he was outside of Eregion. He was in the Battle of Eregion. So we've already seen that. We've already seen the sack. We've already seen the sack.
We've seen that sack, man, and there ain't nothing in there.
And there was no Celeborn. He was not there. I mean, he actually partners up with Elrond, and they sort of try to help out.
There's no Celeborn in the sack. Dude.
There's nothing. I mean, Galadriel was not there. She was actually in Lothlorien. She had already gone through Moria or Khazad-dûm, if you will, and had found sanctuary there, and was also there combating the shadow of Sauron. So again, I challenge people who are making or creating or crafting the story of Celeborn. And again, this is why it's fun. It is a spectacle. Yeah. It is something that's just fun to go watch because I have you have no clue. I have no clue. Corey Olsen has no clue. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I'm telling you right now.
Is he writing for the show? You never know.
Honestly, J.R.R. Tolkien has if he were alive and well, he would have no clue what they're doing with Celeborn. Am I right about that?
Yes.
J.R.R. Tolkien would have no clue what they're doing with Celeborn.
That's the
Christopher
truth.
wouldn't have any clue.
Christopher had no clue.
So again, you're like, wait, how would he not know? Isn't he the writer of the series? That's the point.
Right.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Okay, sorry.
Clip it, put it on a reel.
Put it up
That's
there.
gold.
I'm done.
That's going to
Okay.
get us some ad revenue, baby.
I hope. We'll see.
Okay, so another really interesting casting. I love that. Thank you, dude. Another interesting casting is Eddie Marzan. So Eddie Marzan's been in all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he's cool. Yes.
Really cool actor. He's one of those guys, you know his face, you know his roles, you don't know his name almost, kind of. You know, he's one of those like character actors. So he's been cast as well. Be really interesting to see who I could almost see them being like, oh, maybe he's Radagast.
Dude.
You know, something, because he's very quirky, he's very odd. He always plays like very interesting characters. Give me a timeout. What's up, dog?
Okay, so let me tell you something.
Why not bring all the wizards in?
Why
Just
not?
Why
Here's
the hell
the thing.
not?
Here is the thing.
Just go
if
big.
your rings of power, and again, we're clipping this up. So I'm like thinking down this line. Okay, if you're Payne and McKay at this point, you got nothing to lose.
No, really.
You got nothing
honestly.
to lose. So go ahead and make Eddie Marzan Radagast.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it.
Right.
There's no reason
Then
not
you've
to.
got 3 wizards going on.
You got 3 wizards.
Yep.
And by the way, show us the blues, bro.
Show us the blues.
I mean, I don't know if they got rights to that or not.
The blues might be in the sack still. I don't know. It depends on how often they've been used.
I mean, ironically, they were supposed to be there before Gandalf. And that was good. That was good. Wow. They were supposed to be there before Gandalf.
Right.
Before Saruman. Before Radagast.
Yes.
They were supposedly there earlier.
They lost their
if you
way,
will.
right? Yeah.
So, but I think it would be really cool to bring Radagast into it. If you're going to go shoot for the moon.
Yeah.
If Gandalf can be there,
Bring Gollum in. Hell, why not?
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
If Gandalf can be in Rings of Power, where's Radagast? See, that's a question they have to answer. If you were going to bring Gandalf in, why would you not show us the coming of Radagast or where he's at? He came the Third Age because he's not that important? Come on now. Go ahead and show it to us and just make your own tale, make your own story. Yep. It's totally fine.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Great. I'm glad you said he could be Radagast because
I mean, I don't know.
That'd be cool.
He could be anybody, but I'm just thinking to myself, he's a relatively big actor. Again, he's really quirky. He kind of reminds me of the same kind of, honestly, same kind of he could pull off the same roles that Sylvester McCoy could as well.
Yes.
And at least if they're trying to kind of what they have done is so they've sort of like known characters they've kind of mimicked in a way what we already know from Lord of the Rings.
Right.
With the exception of Galadriel, I think with Morpeth Clark there's no real parallels there, really. And then we have a few more. I don't know these actors, but Andrew Richardson. It doesn't mean they're just because I don't know them. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. No.
Andrew Richardson is a series regular. Zubin Varla recurring and Adam Young recurring. So these are big casting announcements, which there's not tons of anymore. Honestly, I mean most of them are pretty much gone. Like they don't really. They're not as active on social media as they were. Leading up to season 1. I see that hand. Get in here. Tolkien tutor over there. Come on, baby.
I'm just a Tolkien tutor.
Let's go.
I ain't Corey Olsen. All right, I ain't a Tolkien professor. But I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah, let's get it.
What I would love to see from Rings of Power, because we talked about the shadow lifting off of us. It's also the Rings of Power is part of the shadow.
Yeah, actually, yes, it is. It is.
So when we say it wasn't one particular thing, it really was a combination of stuff.
There's all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Now we've kind of been like, okay, let's just be silly with it. Yeah. Let's truly just be hobbits and have fun. And I think
not in a mean way, not like these other angles where it's demeaning. It's like this is stupid, this is woke. It's just like, come on, let's have some fun.
Again, because I just want to have fun with it. And so truly, sincerely, like one of the coolest things they did was D3. D3 attacking the Balrog. Holy smokes. Give them literally every bit of credit for that. That felt so Tolkien.
You know what?
That felt amazing. And honest to God, I want to say to them, hats off. Yeah. That was one of the coolest things I've seen ever done in Middle-earth.
You know what? I'm going to give you another one. The Arrival of the Stranger.
That was cool.
Coming through as a meteorite, like cool crashing into the earth. At that point, that was one of the cool. Like, who is this stranger? Who is this guy? Yes. And I think of we in this beginning of the creation of everything in the Silmarillion, the Ainulindalë, I think like that's something you could envision. You could envision these great beings. How would they be sent into this physical world, right? If they were taking physical form, it would be something. It talks about like it could be something. This great. Like feat, this supernatural thing almost, this element of nature, right? And I think it's a really cool way to depict it. It almost feels kind of a shame because it feels a little wasted and it's gotten sort of sillier along the way, like the whole Grand Elf stuff. And
right.
How am I to know my name following my nose?
Right, yeah. But time out. I mean, so again, if you are Payne and McKay and if you are the team at Amazon, you should, I would just embrace this now with the time compression that it's irreversible. You can't go back. You can't change that. So if that's the case, and if they called me in and said, Ez, what should we do?
How do we fix it? Are
you ready for this?
How do we write one of the 3 ships in Numenor, Ez?
How do we do this? I'm telling you to fill my own Hobbit heart, right?
Yeah.
It would literally be like bring Celeborn in, have some sick, like really sad story about where he was and how they were separated and lost, or he was tracking down,
how he was pursuing her,
trying
to get her.
Maybe there was something from the First Age he was still dealing with.
Oh, wow.
Something crazy like that. I read this fan fiction the other day, dude, that they were up in Himring. So
doing what? They were what? Doing what?
Hold on. There was this it was an ASMR channel, bro. And they like Aragorn. It was Aragorn in the Third Age.
Okay.
And Aragorn in the Third Age had found this girl and and maybe what if this is just Tolkien? What if this is actually just Tolkien's lore and I don't even know it?
Doesn't sound like it so far.
But like he finds this village. They're up in the north, Arnor sort of former regions, and he finds this girl, and she's wayward. Her father was killed by orcs, goblins, whatever, blah blah. It's the darkness, and he starts to track it back, trying to figure out who is what where. He gets all the way. He tracks this. He goes from village to village, meets different people. This is Aragorn. Okay. One of his many travels. Maybe it's true. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you guys tell me right now if I'm like literally, because I don't know much about Aragorn's travels.
I don't know this either.
He goes to, so we know that, this is so crazy, I'm telling the story. In Middle Earth, there's a portion of it that was put into the sea, right? So after the First Age, it's destroyed and Beleriand is like Gonzo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And so, an area, if you think of the areas, Lane, you get the Blue Mountains.
Yes.
And if you think just west of the Blue Mountains, well, that's the sea now. Like in the Third Age, it's the sea. But if you go far up north, it would be frozen.
Yeah.
And it would be there'd be frozen bits of the sea.
Yes.
And there might be a high peak out on the sea that is left over from the First Age, a high mountain peak or a high palace or something, right? And so in this fan fiction, he goes there and he encounters, I think it's Maelor, one of Feanor's sons, and it's like I think it's a fiction. I have no idea. And he essentially, because I looked it up and it's like there should be nothing about this. And so he goes there. And he's trying to free. I didn't listen to the whole story. It's a sleep story, right? It was an amazing sleep.
That's cool, though. That's really cool.
It was literally one of the coolest sleep stories I've ever heard. I'll put a link to you guys if you guys want to listen. I'll put a link to it. Because I was sitting there going, like, who could fall asleep to this? This is fascinating. Like he goes up there. And I'm thinking of Rings of Power now. I'm thinking of like, what could they do?
What could they do?
So he goes up there. He realizes it's Himring. It's the fortress Himring, which was on the map one of the highest points. It's where Maedrus and Maelor, I believe it's Maelor, not Maglor, Maelor, one of the two. He's up there. It's one of the sons of Feanor, and it's one of the sons that we believe could have lived. We thought that, what's the guy's name in Rings?
Adar. Was one
We thought that Adar was this character, if you will, because he had the 3 Silmarils on his shoulder.
The hand.
He had the burning of his face where he was maybe holding a Silmaril.
Yeah.
So we thought that was him, right? And they clearly had that. That's what they were going
to do. Yeah.
For that. So I'm like, that's the kind of stuff that you could. I mean, again, this was his Third Age, but like, go crazy with it, man.
Yeah. Do something.
If it's Ez, and you asked me to come in there and you're bringing Radagast in, I can't believe you said Radagast. Because Radagast, if you showed me his most powerful moment, what is Radagast's most powerful moment ever? And you're like, well, Tolkien never talked about it. No crap, guys. No crap. Tolkien never talked about it, but Rings of Power is going to do it.
Go. Well, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Dude, go do that. He never said that the Balrog was waking up in Khazad-dûm and that they he never said that.
And that's sort of the perfect.
So go for it.
That's the perfect whiff I think that they've kind of had is like that kind of I don't know. They haven't like swung on those moments. Like instead of seeing the room between the pillars as the space to take those swings, they've literally gone right up to the pillars and just like swung into them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes,
So, but you're right. At this point, why not? Why not create a little backstory? Make it. I mean, they're going to clearly.
They're going to, which is fine because they've totally made their own backstory for Galadriel. So make it for Celeborn, make it for Radagast, make it for Gandalf. Yes. Show us something Gandalf never did before. Like,
hook up with Galadriel.
Maybe he does. Maybe he does. Maybe Celeborn comes up and. I mean, Elrond kissed her.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah.
My God, she's a queen. She's
available. She's available, guys.
Desirable.
So the other thing too with the show that I saw recently, I can't remember where I saw this. It might just be total clickbait. You know how Facebook is. But anyway, there was some kind of article I saw that was like, if I don't think it was on Facebook. I think it was an actual article somewhere where they were like, if Rings of Power gets canceled for it feels like since season 1, this has been a discussion out there. If Rings of Power cannot complete episode or seasons 4 and 5, if they get canceled in that time, this is how much they'll cost Amazon Studios, all this stuff. And it's like, what is this even?
Yeah.
So I don't know why that continues to be out there.
Yeah.
I don't know who's putting that out there.
Right.
I don't know if it's, again, if there's any legitimacy to it. Again, I don't really even totally understand. I'm not a financial guy. I don't totally understand how these streaming shows are funded, and if it's like, if you get canceled, do you lose money or do you just pay the rights that you already had? Do you eat the costs? I mean, Amazon, like, again, the crazy thing is that Amazon could have eaten all of the costs for the show and it wouldn't make a difference.
Right.
Like, it's literally FU money. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, so they have at Amazon Studios, they just gave up Wheel of Time. So Wheel of Time was Robert Jordan's fantasy series, 14 novel series. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I actually am a little bit upset that they gave that up because
it was getting better, wasn't it?
It was getting better.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, dude.
So how funny is that? Rings of Power is getting worse and they're continuing it. Wheel of Time was getting better and they canceled it.
The Wheel of Time community was like, wait a second, we just had our best season.
That's
like
a shame,
season
dude.
2 was way better than season 1. Season 3, like how often do you get like every season's getting better?
No, you don't. Not very often.
Not very often. So
Chicago Bulls are the only ones.
Dude, so there you go. I mean, you had a 90s chance. I mean, it's like you take us back in time, but no, they canceled it.
That's a shame.
They canceled it, and all the actors are like, "Whoa!" And it's because I think here's my honest opinion. I think the Lord of the Rings rights cost them so much.
Oh my gosh, they couldn't.
They're saving money there.
Oh my gosh.
I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe they just didn't think it was that profitable or whatever. But I mean, I felt like it. Yeah.
Amazon just seems so hit or miss.
It
seems like they'll make really great shows and they'll make shows that don't do nearly as well. There's not like a lot of middle ground.
We all want great TV. We want great shows. You know, like I'm here to root for those shows.
Yeah.
We were never anti Rings of Power.
No.
Actually.
No,
never.
We got called shills for a while. We got, like
Andrew showed up to LAP3 and literally said, "Let me read you the title." Right? Like
Andrew Hill calling us out.
That was the greatest whatever we said.
Here's your crow on a plate, sirs.
Oh my God,
that was amazing. I love that, dude. I love it.
Yeah,
and we did. We were enamored at the beginning, but
so can I say now
you can
too,
change. Yeah,
it's also really nice knowing that we have Rings of Power news coming out.
Yeah,
and I want. I always think of my student. I had a former student. He graduated a couple years, last year, and he loved that show because it got him into Tolkien. He thought it was so cool.
See, I mean, that's a beautiful thing.
He thought the world was awesome.
Right.
Now, as he goes through it, whether it's his gateway, cool. I think it's freaking awesome, and I love that he's in there. A lot of people were coming back to it because they wanted some Lord of the Rings vibes and feels, and so I'm glad that they are. And so I guess I know we've been called trolls. I know we have been. Which is okay.
Trolls and shills.
Which is okay because for a while,
shills.
if I'm being honest, for a while I felt like trolling the show.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you because I felt like they disrespected Tolkien's work, and so
for sure.
I was a little bit mad. But anymore, I've let it go. I love them. I wish them the best, and I'm excited to see what they do. I mean, even season 2. When we saw the trailer, I thought, course correction, baby. This is all right. They heard us. They're coming out, and then Elrond kissed Galadriel, and I thought, God, dude.
And and then like the way the sack of Region happened. Yeah, there's all kinds of
Celebrimbor. One of my favorite moments in the whole thing.
I know.
Was when he's turning to Sauron and he says, "You are he.
Yeah.
You are the one."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Whoa, I'm getting chills all over my body." I was like, Okay.
The one good moment he had.
But the problem with that, and again, it's a great delivery, great whatever. We've not heard really. We heard Galadriel in the beginning reference Sauron, but we haven't heard that the elves are terrified of him.
Right.
You know, there hasn't been this terror of them. So, like, it's like, oh yeah, he knew who he was, but like, so that gave me chills because I know who Sauron is.
Yeah.
But if you're just watching, you're like, who the heck's he talking about?
Right.
Because the elves aren't afraid of anybody, are they? Oh, they're afraid of Sauron?
This is news to us within the universe. Yes.
It's a little herky-jerky, but still a great delivery, and I really liked it. So
there are definitely little moments where you're like, man, this could have been something.
I love that actor, but I love
could have been something else.
By the way, I love the actors.
Yeah,
I love the actors, and I love all the different things. Yeah. Let's move on, because the cool thing was the gem here is that you have Rings of Power news, and you also have Hunt for Gollum movie news.
Now, so listen, we're gonna go into this kind of with some transparency, where I think this is a little bit of a good cop, bad cop situation, a little bit of an optimist and a pessimist.
Please.
And I think it's good. I don't think we've ever gone into any new thing where it's like, you're a little more optimistic, I'm a little more pessimistic. And we're going to lean into that, I think.
Let's lean into it.
And not in a bad way, but so.
I'll go toe to toe with you. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. So Hunt for Gollum, because I hope you're right.
I
really hope you're right. Like, I really
think
do.
I am, but go ahead.
Hunt for Gollum movie news. The script has been completed. So as of May 2025, I think a while ago when we recorded early in the spring, I don't know, we had talked about how they were alluding to there's big news coming, and it was that the script was finally finished. So in 2025, it was officially completed. Production is scheduled to begin in May of 2026. So that's just right around the corner, guys.
Let's go.
And a release date of December 17th, 2027. That's an important date because that's when Return of the King came out in 2003, which is kind of cool. December 19th, 2001, December 18th, 2002, December 17th, 2003. That's right. I remember. I'm a psychopath, which is a nostalgic release date, I'm sure. And that's my biggest thing, okay? As a pessimist, my biggest thing with this Hunt for Gollum thing is I think it's all nostalgia driven. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's necessarily, I'm erring on the side of it's not story driven. It's not production driven. I really feel like it's just this desire to go back.
Yeah.
You know, they're all getting older. They all realize they're not going to live forever. They're all realizing too, that this is the greatest thing they've ever or will ever be a part of. Okay. And they want to get the band back together. I mean, they all do it. Look at all these rock bands. Mm-hmm. You know, Ozzy Osbourne, went and played his last, reunion concert, and then he dies like 2 weeks later, right? Mm-hmm. You've got all these bands that get together and they can't stop. They can't stop because they're chasing that. It might be us too. You go after the hits, right? You don't want to leave that space. Yeah. You find something special and you think you can tap into it forever. Right. And I think that's kind of what's going on here. What are your thoughts about that?
And I love the analogy because is there another song? Is there another song, another great hit?
You don't know Michael Jackson. You don't know Michael Jackson.
Right.
But there was great music that Michael Jackson put out past his prime, right?
Yes, dude.
There's even one that got released posthumously that I think JT was a part of or something. Someone helped produce.
Really? Okay.
It's like they found recordings. It was sick.
Yeah.
It was sick. So I hope you're right about that. I hope there is a few last songs.
What you're saying is that it's the Hunt for Gollum is largely nostalgia driven.
Yes, it is.
And I believe you. Yeah. I agree with you actually on that.
Okay.
But what I think is...
You think they can pull it off?
I think they can pull it off. And here's the thing. I think that it's nostalgia driven. We want everyone back. They know they struck gold. They know they struck a line of mithril. They found the Arkenstone. It's all freaking there. But there is one more or two things, whatever it might be, to go. And I think they found it. I think... Here's the thing. I think they were like... It just took some sitting around, thinking about it. Maybe
a long time. It took a long time, dude.
Hold on. It took a long time.
Okay.
And I think age has something to do with it.
Yes.
Hear me out. Hold on.
Keep going.
I think that age has something to do with it. And so when they look around, they say, this might be it. What do we have left in the tank?
Right. And
is there a story we missed? Is there something we could do together?
Okay.
There is.
Okay.
And
I think to myself, I know some dwarves who delve too greedily and too deep. looking for that last nugget that you're talking about. So, and that's fine. Like if they
but
get
I don't
there,
think it's money driven. I don't think it's.
No, I changed my mind on that too. We talked about this a while ago. I think we recorded an episode actually where it was is this a
cash grab?
A cash grab.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, it was. It's definitely not a cash grab.
Yeah.
They don't need money. That's bull crap. That's not what this is.
No.
I really firmly believe this is a desire to return to something that they know they're never going to get again.
It's holy, bro. It's
a holy thing. But my thing is, the first time that was not the motivation. The first time that was not the goal. It was literally they fell into something not for lack of effort either. I'm saying that like literally the veil was lifted, right? And everything met perfectly. Technology, underdog, the rights, and the correct people in place, a magic happened. A true magic was struck.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, that has nothing to do with going back anywhere or recapturing anything. And I think, I don't know, man. I think sometimes when you get the band back together,
you think it's forced.
You're singing the same songs, but they don't sound as good.
No, they sound different.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. They sound different. I agree with you.
And they not only sound different, I think sometimes they sound worse.
Oh, for sure.
Is my only thing. Only thing.
No,
yeah.
Imagine for a second. Imagine that Viggo Mortensen has to.
He's not going to be in this movie, dude.
Hold on. Imagine that he has to de-age.
Right.
That they try to de-age him, not even with like AI stuff, but he says, let's try to make this work. It's going to look not good.
It's going to look not good.
It's going to be tough to pull that off.
And I think the precedent for that is some of the stuff they did with The Hobbit. Remember how they went away from prosthetics with all these orcs and everything, and everything was CGI, and then they started getting real crazy where they were like, Dane Ironfoot, we had Billy Connolly, let's just make him a CGI dwarf.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you see that and you're like, what are we doing here, man? Like, what? How did we veer so far from? I mean, if that was always the precedent, we wouldn't even bat an eye.
Right.
But that's not how it was. Like people like Tammy Lane worked tirelessly to bring orcs to life. And the excuse that we kind of learned most recently from The Hobbit that I had forgotten about was like, the actors were getting too hot. The actors were getting too hot. Then go out on location.
Yeah.
Go out on location where it's not such a. Like, it wasn't too hot in 1999.
Yeah.
It wasn't too hot in 2000. So what's changed? How did all of a sudden the same prosthetics, the same type of depiction of orcs change so much in that time that, well, now it's not feasible. Now it's a little too inhumane, and we got to do it CGI digitally. I think it was easier. I think they were up against time crunches.
Yes,
they were up against constraints from the studios, and they thought, dude, we can't get this done with prosthetics. We're going to say it's uncomfortable. We're going to do it digitally. Yeah. Everyone's ready for this anyway. This is the future, and they were wrong about it.
Yeah, so the original cast and crew of The Lord of the Rings, they worked their butts off.
They did.
They worked their butts off.
They forged something, man.
And they forged something awesome, right?
Yeah, they did.
Here's the thing that I want to say is that, like, let me take you to a different universe, a galaxy far, far away.
Okay.
For just a second.
Okay.
Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford.
Sure, love them.
The original
OGs
of Star Wars, right?
Peter Mayhew.
So they went to do this thing again. Mark Hamill said, I worry we captured lightning in a bottle. We captured lightning in a bottle. And then what they went to go do with the sequels, it was awful. Yeah. It was awful. It's some people, one movie might be good. There's a lot of debates. Is it this one? Is it that one? Who knows? Or is there two and one's a dud? Whatever. It just didn't work.
Didn't flow.
It didn't flow.
Yeah.
The cast themselves didn't feel the magic. They weren't really into it. It was, they were. So here's the thing. Part of the problem there was that they didn't have the original creator.
Yeah.
They didn't have George Lucas in on it. They didn't have Peter Jackson guiding them. They didn't have sort of that original kind of. There wasn't this unity to kind of bring it back. It was also kind of like, hey, we're also going to usher in this new generation. You guys are kind of secondary to them. It felt like it was a weird thing. Yeah. So I say all that just to kind of say, like, this does feel like they're getting the entire band back together,
right? And
we're bringing all of the OGs back.
Yeah.
Which that's if you were doing it any other way, like if Andy Serkis wasn't directing this and Peter Jackson wasn't involved, I'd be like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
What the heck's going on? I at least have confidence in this project and just because of the names and the people who are coming back and being associated with it, how they pull it off is going to be interesting. I think we have to, as OG, like Lord of the Rings fans, we're going to have to say, this will not be lightning in the bottle. This will be, I hope they try to get it as close as they can with the visuals on screen, the work and the effort they put into it. But these individuals are much older.
like 20 years older.
20 years older. This is hard. When I said earlier, they put in hard work, like you said.
Yeah.
They're showing up in the morning. The hobbits, literally could not.
3 hours standing up.
They had to stand to put their feet on.
Hey, I thought you hadn't seen the appendices.
I saw a clip online. So anyway, but I'm like, dude, are they willing to put that kind of work in? I think the people around, like Ian McKellen and Viggo, I think the people around them, younger them, maybe the cast and crew are willing to put in more effort to help make this look like it should.
Right.
I hope.
And that worries me. That gives you hope?
No, I'm just saying, I hope that's what they're all thinking and that they're all about to try and accomplish.
See, and that makes me worried. I don't know.
It can never be what it was before.
No, and that's my thing is like, don't even try.
No,
that's what I'm saying. And when we talk about,
I disagree with you.
When we talk about, I love this, dude. This is brand new. I think to myself, when we talk about, when we talk about to people like Hunt for Gollum, how do you feel about it? People are like, okay, there's not a strong reaction. It's almost like, why don't you go do something different? Like, it's almost like, we talk about white spaces in the maps and everything, and these gaps in time and story, and how they're so appealing because we don't know exactly. We don't get to see it. See it played out. We Peter Jackson used it. He said, "You don't know that they don't go to the Old Forest. We just decided not to show it."
Yeah.
Okay. So why go show this part of the story when there's other parts of the legendarium you could get rights to? You could do it. You could get rights to it. You could
stepping stone, bro. Let me tell you right now. This is literally just physically probably the last time you can do it. It's the last time you can have Gandalf. It's the last time. We're out of time.
Right.
Just with the physical body. Okay.
Right.
Last time we can do it. So let's go figure out what story we can do. And then after this 1 or 2 stories, we are going to those stories. We're going to do those things.
But why though? Why do we have to do this first?
We have to do this
so they can have a nostalgia trip.
It's establishing. It's establishing them. It is a counter to Rings of Power. It is a comeback for Lord of the Rings. It has, I think, actually, as our generation.
Can I say something real quick?
As our generation has grown up, as you and me have grown up, we've now become the voices on the internet, and we're like, and everyone knows that this is literally cinematic gold. It was perfection. It is perfection. And so, I understand from a monetary standpoint, like if you own the rights to this and making movies and stuff, why in God's name
I love this, dude.
Would you not? Okay. I know it's wrong. I know it's kind of this
I'm not saying
spirit
it's
of Tolkien, but like this whole like milking it for everything it's worth. Before you go milk it, bring everybody, put every dime you can back into original cast and crew, bring them back, do something.
I understand. Yes.
And also, I think in The Hobbit. So in The Hobbit, by the way, The Hobbit better than it's all 3 are better with age. Every year, they're better and better and better. Number 2,
some of them age better than others.
Number 2,
I will say.
We recast Bilbo. We actually went back.
Right.
We successfully recast him.
Right.
I would not be surprised if we see I'm blanking on his name, the Hobbit Bilbo. Who's the actor that plays him? What's his name?
Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman, thank you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see an older version of him wandering through the Hall of Fire at the beginning of this.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if that Council of Elrond we see Viggo, and we see Viggo for literally 30 seconds start to recall the story, and it is a younger version of him, or someone who looks close. Now, and people are like, "What? It was not long ago." That's true.
Right.
That's true. And it would be a hard sell.
Right.
It would be tough, and we would have to be like,
think about this. Viggo Mortensen is the age now that Ian McKellen was when he played Gandalf.
Crazy.
Right.
It's crazy.
So, okay, and I appreciate what you're doing there. I believe that that's a way to look at it, 100%.
Yeah.
But you said that this needs to be a comeback, right? This needs to be a comeback and counter to Rings of Power, right? So that they can move back and do other things, essentially.
Yeah, I think they want to do this first before they go.
See, and I would argue they don't need a comeback.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think every season that Rings of Power puts out, I think every time someone else does something else that's not them, it just shows how good the original was. I don't think they would have to go. I think they could go do something totally different now, and they could skip the whole hunt for God. And I understand. Dude, no one wants to see Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn again more than me.
Right.
No one in this world wants to see that more than me.
You're gonna cry.
But I think no, I'm not. I'm fine. The mic's fine. But my thing is like I think the way to do it would be to have Viggo Mortensen play an aged Aragorn. Right? And maybe they could do that, but they're not talking about going forward. They're talking about going back into the middle of the story. That whole concept they had for when they were talking about the Aragorn TV show and The Last Hunt. Remember that art that came out years ago that someone at Weta did for Christmas time? And it was an old Aragorn on The Last Hunt. King Elisar out there, haggard and white in his beard, and he's 230 something, and he's going out for a last adventure.
Oh, boy.
He knows it's the last time he can handle it.
Man.
And then reflecting back on his younger life and hence casting someone younger to play his role, someone who looks a lot like Viggo, someone who could pull it off.
Well,
that works for me.
That works.
But that's not what this is.
But could this be? Hold on. How do you know? This could be. What if they did? I've always said the Council of Elrond. Like they do that.
That makes the most sense.
But what if they don't? What if they do exactly what you just said and it starts?
Okay, because he's the one who hunted for Gollum. Yeah, okay.
Because he's the one who hunted for Gollum. Exactly. So that's where I'm like, you can't do this story.
That's the loophole.
You cannot do the story without Aragorn. You can't.
Right.
And I don't think you can do it successfully without Viggo Mortensen.
But then do you get too weird in the sausage if you've got like Ian McKellen as Gandalf and then recasting Aragorn right by his side? That's where it gets a little too weird for me, where I'm like, what are we doing here? That's Rings of Power. That's recasting Adar and keeping everyone else the same. Lord of the Rings hasn't, well, I guess they've done it with Bilbo.
So,
never mind. So they have done that, but it would have to be pulled off in a way. And again, to your credit, you said that they can do magical things. So maybe they can pull this off. If they did that, he's off on the last hunt and he recalls a hunt he did a long time ago, and we get into the hunt for Gollum and they recast Aragorn and it works. And they pair him with Ian McKellen and it works.
They would have to de-age Ian McKellen a little bit, right? They'd have to.
Yeah,
they did that.
Yeah, maybe
they did that.
They
in
made
the
him
Hobbit.
look, and they made him look older originally. When they cast him as Gandalf the Grey originally, they aged him.
That's right.
They aged him greatly.
That's right.
So I mean, prosthetics and stuff.
Because as we know, he comes in as an agent. He takes the form of an.
It's almost like the older the better. Really,
he's almost like always been old.
And
like,
unless
he's the stranger in Rings of Power.
Right. And for writing scenes and fighting scenes, they'll always get a body double. They did it for the Hobbit. That was someone else. It wasn't even Ian McKellen. All they used him for was close-ups in his voice. Are we okay?
We're fine.
On time? Okay, good.
Yeah, 2 hours and 45 minutes still.
Daggum, dude. So anyway, yes. Okay, yeah. I mean...
no, okay, here's my thing. So Hunt for Gollum, I actually truly believe they can pull this off.
Okay.
I think that there is a way to do... I'm interested to see what they're going to do.
Now, let me ask you. If Billy Boyd and Don Monahan start wandering in and Sean Astin's wandering in, and are you cool with that too?
Yeah, I am. Yes, I am.
Orlando Bloom comes back. You're cool with that?
Hold on. How about this? What's his name? Lee Pace. I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that too. I'm fine with Lee Pace. They gotta
have Lee Pace in there.
I'm fine with Lee Pace. I'm more fine with Lee Pace than I am some of those other people.
I get you. So
I don't want it to be like, oh, we're getting back to you. Okay, cool. Can you write me in?
No, I know.
That's what this is sort of alluding to, though. When you get Elijah Wood talking about there's going to be a lot of cameos,
so
and he's smiling. Why is Elijah Wood in it?
Let's talk about it. Why is Elijah Wood in the Hunt for Gollum?
Because he doesn't age. Because Elijah Wood looks the same as he did 45 years ago when he was born.
So that should give us a clue about why he's in it. So this has to, as I said. I'm so glad
I just think you're playing with fire, dog. I think you're playing with fire, not secret fire.
If it starts at the Council of Elrond, then you can have Merry, Pippin,
and you're not going to have Hugo Weaving. He's out. He said he's out.
No, Hugo's in it.
He said he's out for good.
Hugo Weaving is in this.
He said he never wants to play Elrond again. You think they're going to throw him cash and he'll change his mind?
That's a lie. I think it's a lie.
Okay.
I think it would be very. I don't know. I feel like that would be very.
He's a pretty eccentric guy that way. Like if he's done with something, he says, "I'm done." But again, he's almost kind of like Viggo that way.
So is Liam Neeson, who said he would never return to Qui-Gon.
Okay, true. Good point.
And then he shows up, and you're well, there's freaking.
So they got to tickle his heartstrings, is what you're saying. They got to tickle Elrond's heartstrings.
I think if they have to make his path for return very easy.
Yeah,
and they have to, because a lot of them were underpaid. A lot of them were not paid the way they should have been. So if there's any money
Orlando Bloom made like $70,000 or something from all three films. Maybe less. I can't remember. He was on Howard Stern.
He was someone who was very passionate about it.
Well, he even said,
like, I want to do it anyway.
Yeah, he was like they were like, do you feel bad about that? He's like, no, not at all. Yeah, he said, I owed everything in my career to that role. I would have done it for free, he said.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It is amazing. I mean, that's the beauty of those films, is it was not about money. Yep. It was not about acclaim. It wasn't about any of that. They really cared about the production.
And see, this is why though I honestly I'm so hardcore rooting for them. I hope they pull this off and it blows the freaking socks.
Look, okay, now
I know you hope.
I'm not rooting against them either.
No, I know you're not either.
Yes.
I know you're not either.
No.
I know you hope the same thing that I
do hope the same thing.
I think it's like what we're talking about is the motivations. Right, we're talking about like motivations and what are they, and what are they trying to do, and it's just
I guess here's my biggest concern is I don't want their comfort with nostalgia, that like desire to go, oh, I'm feeling it again, to get in the way
of putting up a piss poor story
of inspiration. Yeah,
and having a piss poor product that comes out and it looks
it's Fuller House, guys. It's the same thing.
Right.
What?
Right.
Those things never work. They don't work because it's like the motivation is different.
Hold on. Let's move into then, because I see it in the doc.
Yep.
Let's move into something that is inspiring about that. Okay. Because you said Elijah Wood. You have this quote in here.
Yes, I do.
And what his thoughts were on the script,
yes.
because he's seen and read the script.
Okay. Yep. So he says, I know a great deal about it. I've read it. It's really good. There are some wonderful people involved. The thing that is so exciting is that it is really getting the creative band back together. And again, that's the phrase that kind of worries me. The brain trust behind the Lord of the Rings, Fran, Peter, Philippa, they are heavily involved. Of course they are, he continued. And then the same production designers, it's going to be shot in New Zealand. Again, nostalgia. So it's going to carry with it such continuity with so many people who are part of the Lord of the Rings. And I am really excited about that. It feels like getting the old machine up and running again with all the right people. Again, how many times does he reference nostalgia in that quote?
Right, but
not the story.
Yes,
not the script.
Your focus determines your reality here, and what you just I've read the script. It's really good.
It's really good. That's not high praise. It's really.
You don't think so?
It's really good.
Elijah, why couldn't you said something? Come on, Elijah.
I mean, he didn't say it's phenomenal. I've heard him talk before too. Now, granted,
is that a sign? Is it just
it
just really good and it's not phenomenal?
I think that's semantics. I think that's me. That's me being petty. I think that he really is saying it is really good. But one mention of the script and then wonderful people, creative band back together again.
Can I tell you something?
Old machine up and running again. It's 3-1. It's a 3-1 ratio of what they're actually doing versus who they're getting back together. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And that just, again, I hope it rocks. I am hopeful. I'm not like dreading the rings. I'm not, whoa, yikes, Freudian slip. I'm not dreading Hunt for Gollum like I'm dreading Rings of Power season 3. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Where I know it's going to be like a mockery. It's going to be silly. It's going to be goofy. I'm like nervous. I'm kind of like almost anxious about it because I'm like, I don't want this to hurt, dude. Because this will hurt. Rings of Power doesn't hurt.
No, you're right.
Rings of Power doesn't hurt. It's like it's like this is something new. It didn't work. Okay, cool. Now we can kind of be silly and make fun of it.
This is the original crew coming back.
This is like, dude, there's some weight you're carrying here.
I understand
that. It's nostalgic for me as much as it is nostalgic. Well, maybe not. It's nostalgic for me in a way comparable that it is nostalgic for Elijah Wood.
So, again, that's why you're very sensitive to it, because you're wanting this to be pulled off and you want it to be phenomenal.
Yeah, right.
And you're really worried that it's just nostalgic driven and
again,
it's not going to live up to what, you know.
And again, you look at how many different Lord of the Rings events have we had in the past 25 years. There were 3, 2001, 2002, 2003, a long gap, then the 3 Hobbit movies in 12, 13, and 14, and then a long gap, and then Rings of Power, not so good. Hobbit movies were kind of mixed reviews, Lord of the Rings were classics, and then you have War of the Rohirrim, which is awesome, but so different that you can't compare it. There's not a big sample size. It's not like every other year, every other season, we're getting a new experience in Lord of the Rings, in Middle Earth. So it is all weighted, unfortunately.
Yeah, I get
right?
you. I get you. So, I totally understand you, because it's like you don't want to miss. You don't want to swing and miss here. This is a really big opportunity.
And again, you're going right back into. You're not going even into the Hobbit this time frame. You're going into the original trilogy time frame.
I know that's tough. That's very, very, very tough.
The heart of the belly of the beast.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I think since you are going into the belly of the beast, you're going right back into a Council of Elrond scene, a flashback.
I hope.
Or whatever. I think it's important. I actually think if you are doing that, it's cool to see it from the perspectives of the hobbits. Billy and Dom.
I think
it'd be kind of
like
cool.
Back in the bushes.
Back in the bushes. It's a secret council. They're not supposed to be there. They are there.
Then you can get away with not using some of those actors too.
You could get away with that.
That's clever.
That might be what they do. Another thing is, and this is going to be ridiculous. I hope they blend a lot of different things together. I hope they bring Glorfindel. I hope they throw Radagast in there, because Radagast is in the actual forest where Gollum is taken through.
That would be sweet. Lee Pace, bring him back.
Sylvester McCoy is still alive. I don't know how well he's doing, but if he's still
we'll
active,
reanimate him. It's good.
He's still active.
Bring in, like you said, new characters, the Rangers, the Bounders. You could have them as characters. Ring Race, it doesn't matter because there's no actor. It's not actor dependent.
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The way you've laid it out, I hope they do. Because that's the only way I can think to myself, it will fit, it will make sense. It's like you can touch upon these characters.
Yeah, you gave some Sauron perspective.
Right.
Like that's...
Right, and Saruman too.
Yes.
But those can't be the focus, I don't think. I think you have to focus on something else and the meat of it. And you can do Gollum because Andy Serkis is incredible. Although I don't want a full movie of just Gollum. And then also, these are 2 movies they're talking about too.
I know, that's crazy.
Not just one.
That's crazy.
2 movies. So you're looking at
part 1 and part 2.
You're looking at 6 hours of film.
Holy smokes.
That's a lot of time.
That's where I think that they can bring in. I know where Gollum ends up. He ends up in Moria. He ends up hiding there.
Right.
And that's where freaking Balrog is. The dark, literally the Black Riders would not go there.
Dang, dude, that's crazy. Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Glorfindel wouldn't go there.
Yeah, wow.
So, Gandalf is like, I would not go there unless there was no other option.
Yeah.
And Gollum said, I'm going to go hide there.
Yeah, you go hide there.
So if they don't put him there at the end, it's going to be kind of, what's going on here?
And then how do you kind of end that? Yeah, so.
Yeah, how do you end it? But anyways, I think we'll get more news. I actually want this to be a recurring thing. I want to speculate as we go.
Yeah, we definitely will. We
haven't had, like you said, we have not had Lord of the Rings news and things to really get hyped about in terms of film.
Right.
In terms of film.
Yeah, War of the Rohirrim and then Tolkien biopic forever ago. But so Andy Serkis is directing, Peter Jackson's producing, Fran Walsh, Philippa Boyens, and then Artie Papagiorgio and Phoebe Gittins are all writing. So a couple new writers there, which is interesting. Usually Peter Jackson was kind of in on the writing team and now not so much. So that'll be a cool, interesting, take. Yeah. Andy Serkis, these are actors confirmed to return. Andy Serkis, Ian McKellen, Elijah Wood, all confirmed. Who else is coming back? Who else do we want to come back? That'd be a good question to ask the uppers. Who would you want to come back? Like, who are you willing to have come back to reprise their roles? And so, again, Elijah's kind of hinting there that there will be more reprisals. So, and people returning to their roles. Yeah. All right. So anyway, up for debate. I'll remain slightly pessimistic. You'll remain optimistic.
Yes, sir.
We'll get through this. I can't wait for it to come out because we were talking about how excited we are to go watch a movie in Lord of the Rings movie in the theater again. Right? That'll be incredible.
Oh, that'll be amazing. Yes.
Yeah. In other corners of Middle Earth, we got a bunch of stuff here. I'm going to roll through, but okay. LEP3 was incredible. It was inspiring. We've talked about how it's, changed our perspective. It's reconnected us with a lot of you uppers. It's been amazing and forged friendships that'll last forever. LEP4. We will be having an LEP4. Okay. We asked people, what would they like? Where would they want LEP4? Because that was the whole thing. It was cool having it at Mount Vernon. It was a brand new experience, something brand new, totally different. But at the end of the day, I felt like I missed the comforts of home and being in the backyard, being in Amanda. And so we put it to a poll. 32% said back in Mount Vernon in the North Farthing. 36% of you said return to Amanda. 29% back in Bag End's backyard at the Smith House. And 4% said, hey, somewhere new, somewhere totally different.
That's cool.
But we can officially say that LEP4 is going to happen in 2026.
Yep.
In September. What is it? Is it September 18th, right? Is the Saturday?
I will triple check, right?
Triple check on me real quick. I'm pretty sure that's what I wrote. That is the Saturday. And it's going to be in Amanda. So you can start booking your places now. You can look in the area. Hocking Hills is...
Yeah, 18th and 19th.
18th and 19th. There you go. Which one's the Saturday?
19th.
The 19th is Saturday. Okay, so 19th will be the day of the party, but Friday, hopefully, we'll have time to hang out, maybe even Saturday, too.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's going to be back in Amanda. Hocking Hills is a great place to stay. Lancaster is close by. Circleville, places in Amanda, Columbus even. It'll allow
Not
you
far
to...
at all.
Yeah, it'll be a great experience. We're pumped about it. It's going to be an absolute blast. So, yeah, it's going to come back to Amanda, dude.
Yeah, baby.
How you feel about that?
I'm actually really excited. I've already got my my room booked.
At the Dumford.
I'm already at the Dumford. Me and Susie are there, and so
dude.
I'm feeling really pumped about it. I want to get back in that backyard. And I think it'll be fun for your kids. I think it'll be fun for Lucas will be running around at that point in time a little bit, trying here and there. And I'm really excited. I want Lottie to see it there too in the backyard because that was really cool, and it was just cool to have her see. It's really cool that they get to experience like an LEP3 and also the one that rejuvenated us and brought us
for sure,
back.
Dude. Yeah, it was important.
It was very important.
Super important.
Even though it was in Mount Vernon and it was like cool to feature our hometown. I was talking to Dr. Damien.
Yeah, Dr. Damien.
Dude, and
man.
just about like-minded people being in that place, Mount Vernon Nazarene University, his son being there, different things. It's just really, really cool that we get to share that bit of our history and our hometown with people, and it'll always be near and dear. And maybe one day we'll go back there. But LEP in Amanda is in the backyard, baby, is just where
it's just great. I mean,
and we can hang out late at night. We can hang out and watch a movie, have a fire, and I mean, that's
just kind of the nature of the beast too, of like having an event at a venue versus having it like at your house. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, there's no alcohol like ban. There's no, we could if we want to have a fire at the fire pit, we can have a fire. We can, make food in the kitchen right there. We don't have to transport it. We can, do a lot of more, have a little more freedom than we could at a venue. And it comes back to where it started, right? The whole idea was like, it was like just this big giant house party that hobbits would have, and so I'm excited about it. Sarah's looking forward to it. I think it'll be really, really cool. So, and Amanda's a special place too. I mean, Mount Vernon is as well, obviously, but it'll be cool for people. Really be cool
for the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, and it'll be cool for people to experience both. To have gone this year and then come next year and then get a slice of both, and then who knows for the future, man. I mean, and with the event, I told
somebody like after a couple more of the. By the way, we need a refill here when we get a second.
Yeah, baby.
Before we get,
you want the apple butter?
Before we get into the Ainulindalë.
Yeah. Let's take another break. Yeah,
but I was
sure.
gonna say, like when you come to LEP4, it is not going to be the same as LEP3.
Yes.
There will be some beverages.
Yes, some beveraginos.
And Ez may end up in a cornfield. Like it happens sometimes.
That's what we all want. I mean, we want Ez in the cornfield.
I am the social, just like, dude, I don't know, man. I could just, it's great. I love talking to people when I just had two IPAs in me, and I'm just sort of like, how's it going?
Just take a sniff, and you're feeling it.
Gone, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm like that anyway, my normal whatever. But it's just like, oof.
Just amplifies it.
I can't wait.
Augments
I'm excited. Excited.
I am too. And so we have a lot of cool things that we're going to plan around that, and some of them will be familiar for people from LEP 1 and 2. And it'll be great. So more details to come there. We're still in the early stages, but we're kind of already starting to plan away at that, which is pretty amazing.
It's cool.
Okay, some other little things to discuss before we get into the chapter, dude, which is insane, man. Getting right into the foreword, and then the preface, obviously, and then the Ainulindalë. So, Magic the Gathering, the card game. We have the Universes Beyond the Lord of the Rings series. They are releasing a Hobbit series in August of 2026. They just kind of announced this. Really, really cool. Worth checking out for sure. I love their art. I love that they're doing Lord of the Rings stuff. It's amazing. Okay, concerning Hobbits, little update. You don't mind if I do this? Is cool? All right, Sam Dad, I got you, baby. Concerning Hobbits, the Red Book of Westmarch, a radio drama. Give a little update on what's going on. Episode 1, Part 1 is out now. It's been out since March. March 25th is when it was released. Episode 1, Part 2 is very, very close to being completed. It's in the hands of Jake, our master, the man, dude. One of the best friends you could possibly have. He's incredible. Outside of just working on this project together, he's Jake Hodgins is one of the most.
We're literally flying out to meet
cheesy
him.
Cow, yes, dude. And actually, he's coming out next year. To be here, man. Hopefully, as long as everything
Jake,
works.
by the way, I mean, this coming summer, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm planning on seeing him this summer.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
No, Lottie and I are flying out.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Dude, let's go back to back. Seeing him there and then
in June.
And then,
that would be
dude.
So if he's free, I'm just putting it out there.
That's crazy.
And also anybody else in England /
yeah, the UK.
The UK.
A little taste of Ez and Lottie.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, go.
Yeah, okay. So Jake Hodgson, our man, he's working on the final phases of mixing and mastering episode 1, part 2, which is it's really, really close. And then in episode 2, part 1, I'm working on. The rough cut is almost done, and then I'm going to send it over to Jake, and he's going to be working on. There's going to be a lot more room for collaboration as the episodes go along. I had kind of like really specific ideas for episode 1, but episodes 2 and beyond, I really want to make it more of a collaborative thing, because this is something Jake does. Like, Jake is a master at this, and I want him to be able to put his own creative spin on things and for us to work back and forth, because I really enjoy it. I love it. So that's going on. We're still recording the rest of season 1. That goes on. We've got a lot of stuff on the hard drive ready to start editing, and I'm also writing for season 2, which has begun. Episode 1's finished, which is really exciting. And then yeah, something else. So one of the reasons that this project is so special, I wanted to talk about this. We talked about fan fiction earlier, right? Fan fiction versus like adaptation. And every time we write a script, we put out an episode, I always say adapted from the works of J.R. Tolkien. And this is going to sound, if I sound like an ass, just forgive me. And that's not what I'm trying to sound like. But I believe in this thing so strongly because A, it's something I'm so passionate about, and B, there's so many people involved now who have brought something to this that it really is. It's remarkable, dude.
It's cool.
It's absolutely remarkable. And so I want to talk about why it's, in my opinion, it is elevated, dude.
It is.
I'm not going to shy away from it. It's elevated, and I think there's the difference. There's
a magic to it.
The difference between fan fiction and adaptation. First of all, fan fiction is great. If you're into fan fiction, if you write fan fiction,
sure,
nothing wrong with that. Fan fiction versus adaptation, though, I think fan fiction is something that's more focused on the fiction part, right? Putting your own work into a world that is kind of celebrated and recognized by fans, right? It's something that, you create characters, you create storylines, and most of what is created is your own creation, which is great. And you're kind of doing it in a universe that's created that fans recognize and acknowledge. Versus an adaptation, I think the focus is more on the fandom, more on what's been created that the fan enjoys, and then the fiction is sort of less emphasized, right? You're almost kind of working your fiction around what's already been established within the fandom by the author, by the creator. And so that's what we're doing. Like, we really are adapting Tolkien's works. Like, there are so many things that have happened in the radio drama, so many things that we've written about, so many things that we've recorded, so many things that are planned that are literally bringing to light stories that Tolkien wrote, whether they're in the unpublished epilogue or whether they're in other parts of Lord of the Rings or within the lore of the Red Book, or things that are alluded to in the appendices that are never told anywhere else, like literally like the Fall of Fornost. Episodes 2 and 3 are all about that.
Off the page. I mean, really, you are.
Yeah, and the kind of like thought and attention that goes into it. So, for instance, like like if I was writing a fan fiction, I'd probably write about like, I don't know, Togo Featherbottom, the love child of the secret love child of Samwise Gamgee and Feather Bingbo or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be the angle, right? It would be the scandal, whatever.
Wow.
I mean, something like that, right? Versus, looking to see who would be a great character to bring us into the Fourth Age, to focus on a new set of stories, but also be able to connect to the past. And that's Eleanor, right? Eleanor the Fair, his firstborn, a character that we haven't seen adapted yet, really. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen brought to life. And then also using the importance of the Red Book to not only tell stories within the Fourth Age, but go back in time and explore all the past of Middle-earth and the Hobbits specifically and their involvement within it. So, and then also in like all the consideration that we've put into, man, I think about like, okay, I was telling you about this, like the very first scene. It's not to say we haven't made changes, not to say that we haven't, put in our own like stories or whatever. Like the very first scene of episode 1 is literally Sam Dad departing, into the West, which really actually happens, and handing the Red Book off to Eleanor, which really actually happens, but it doesn't happen like right before his first grandchild is about to be born, right? And that's something that I think that was a liberty that was taken that I think a lot of people, they stop and think about long enough, they'd be like, well, that's kind of an un-Sam-like thing. And it is, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I wanted this story to be about Eleanor. I wanted to be Eleanor-centric. I wanted to focus on a new fourth age. And for me, I thought to myself, like, that point is great. Like that point of Sam leaving, which also means that Rosie has been deceased for a couple years. She's passed on, right? She's no longer around. Yeah. But wanting to coincide it with all these new beginnings for Eleanor, right? Yeah. And so that's a shifting, right? That we decided to make. I decided to make, right? But when I did that, I thought to myself, like, dude, I've got to find a way. And part of the reason for that was I thought if Sam's still around, like half the people who were invested in this story, they're gonna be like, I just want to do more Sam. Right? Yeah. More Sam. And I'm like, how do you experience more of Sam without taking the focus off of Eleanor? It's not because she's a strong character, because she is. Mm-hmm. She's incredible. Like, she's an amazing character. But just people's penchant for Samwise Gamgee.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like, he's just magnetic, right? And it's almost like, how do you move into the fourth age without getting sucked back into things that happened in the War of the Ring and the stories that we love so much? And so anyway, I thought to myself, I'm like, well, what if we bump that up and he goes? And then I thought to myself, at some point, though, I'm going to have to find something in Tolkien to help justify that decision. Yeah. Right? That he would not only leave right before his first grandchild is about to be born, but also before like half of his kids come to age. Mm-hmm. Right? That's kind of, again, a very un-Sam-like thing to do. And ironically enough, you plumb the depths, you go look in the unpublished epilogue, and there's so much there. There's this entire scene with Sam and Eleanor where they're talking, and without giving away too much, the answer is there. Yeah. The answer, or an answer that you can use in a narrative to kind of like make that make sense, or make it a little bit better, make it a little easier pill to swallow. Yeah. And I think like that's something that you do in an adaptation. Right? That's not something a fan fiction. Right. Yeah. So anyway, it really is a labor of love. It is something that, again, I'm only saying this because of all these people involved too, that who've like given this.
Oh yeah, so much time and energy into it.
Further depth and beauty. Yeah. So,
and what you said to me, like the actual, what you're not sharing right there. Yeah. Like the reason when you shared the line with me and you told me what was said, I was like, wow. It actually makes you emotional, dude. Yeah. So I just want to say, like, legitimately, there is an answer. There's a rhyme and a reason for every line in the script. There's a reason for every element of the story. I've heard them all along the way. Yep. And
as has been my audience.
I've actually always been like, bro. I'm always like, Dad, where did you get that from? Because like I'm over here, I'm still trying to learn the Silmarillion, the first age, and Lane's over here like the hobbits went. And they did this. And you're like, what?
That's been the most fun part too.
So cool.
And like, there's been that desire to like, okay, what are we missing, and what else could we explore? What ancient characters or storylines from hobbits and halflings can we work in? And like in 2 and 3, there's tons of it. I mean, so 2 and 3, I wrote with Mike Charles, and there were so many times, man, we would sit and meet and be like, could we do this? And every time we said, could we do this? We were like, okay, well, is this in Tolkien's lore somewhere? Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't, a lot of times we're like, okay, no, we got to find something else. Because a lot of those stories in the history are very like, again, there are pillars, but there's lots of empty room that you have to kind of fill in. You have to live out if you want to make a compelling story. Sure. But like, how do you do that? And so anytime there was something that we thought about introducing, we were like, okay, is there precedent for that? Is there something Tolkien said against that? And we would do deep dives.
That's literally what Rings of Power should have been doing, bro. Right. That's so crazy.
And look deep and spend time. And that's part of why it takes so long. Is like we're going back and looking through and like trying to find nuggets that that we can use that come from Tolkien, not necessarily from what we're thinking of. But anyway, it's a blast. More's coming. It's going to be a 10-year project, which is exciting. Cool. I'm all for that.
Hey, we're up for 10 years now.
Right, dude. Right? Yeah, no, it's great. So go check it out. More is on the way. Other projects to go check out and become a fan of. We got a Harry Potter podcast, Shell Cottage Radio, with Ez and Lottie. Go check that out. It's an amazing thing. I'm going to start listening because we're getting into Harry Potter. Yeah. Before it was like, I'm like, I don't even know. I won't know what they're talking about.
Lane's
I have no idea.
Now.
I'm reading the books to the girls at bedtime. And so I'm like, I'm going to need to hear some discussion about this. And who else would I go to other than Ez and Lottie?
I got to say, every episode that we've done has been thorough. It's been very thorough. And I'm like,
It's a passion project.
Yeah,
for you
I was
guys,
like,
man.
okay, let's go. And so, yeah, there's new stuff coming out, new show, different things. I was talking to Erin, Lady of Gondolin.
Yeah.
I was talking about the Harry Potter stuff. She blitzes through rereads.
Really?
She blitzes
She's a fast
through.
reader.
Yeah, fast reader. And she's like, so she was getting ready for like, I think another Lord of the Rings reread. And she's like, "Wait, you guys are doing Silmarillion? Okay, like now I need to like, switch gears." And so, anyway, or she was finishing up a Harry Potter one as well too. So I was like, "Wow, okay, get in there." But yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, that's a fun one. Feel free. We're recording this Sunday.
Let's go, baby.
Might record out here.
Come on, man. Keep the seat warm, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, go check them out. They're the best. Spaced Out Media, Cameron Hansen's company. Please go check out everything he's doing. If you're in the market for like hiring someone to bring something to life or capture something, a wedding, you have a short film you want to do, whatever, any kind of project that requires cinematography and production, he's the man. Go check him out. Also, the Well-Earned Comforts podcast, the Tolkien podcast with Seth and Sam. It was so fun getting to finally meet Sam and hang out with him.
Agreed.
We miss Seth, but I can't wait to meet Seth. Their podcast is incredible. They do an amazing job, man. Like if you're going to go listen to another Lord of the Rings podcast, they'd be the one I'd go point you in the direction of. They love what they talk about. They're brothers. They talk about their brotherhood all the time. They work in elements of their faith as well. They ask great questions. When they have people on, they have such amazing questions they ask people. They do fun trivia. They're fantastic hosts. Go check them out.
Yep.
Booze and Booze with our brother Alex. Booze and Booze is blowing up, dog. I mean, they are like he's on a top 20 podcast list. I mean, Alex is one of the most amazing guys in the world.
It's raining glizzies on him, man.
dude. And what is his tagline? True scary stories to relax and unsettle you.
Right.
The glizzies are raining down. He's got an amazing voice. He tells great scary stories. Great to have a drink with. Ambiance, but they're actually like really cozy at the same time. Have you noticed that? What are you taking off? What is this?
Ready for this?
Bigfoot grabbed my weed.
You ready for this? All right.
Dude, that is the greatest.
So,
holy crap.
Bigfoot. And I don't know if I can get this on camera or not.
Get that in this shot there. My God, we need a picture of that at the end.
There it is. All right. Bigfoot grabbed my wiener. And you can see Bigfoot here with a hot dog right here. Okay? So, that's for the boys.
Oh, shoot, dude.
That's for the boys.
The
Actually,
boys.
So Jim, who came from Illinois, I never heard a man talk so much about hot dogs and glizzies. And I know he loves them. My brother-in-law was down at a Bigfoot festival in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Dan, my brother-in-law, was down there.
Yeah,
and
Dan
he
the
said,
man.
"Hey, I'm going to get you this shirt." He's like, "You don't ask any questions." He's like, "You have to wear it at least 3 times in your life." And I was like,
maybe there's
okay,
one right now.
I said, "No problem." So, anyways, Lane loves
Dan.
Bigfoot.
I love Bigfoot.
The wieners are on there for the boys in Danville. And, as you were bringing up Alex, I thought, that's probably the best time to reveal the shirt.
I love that, dude. He would love that. And ironically, he also has an apparel line, too. He has clothing, Inked and Awkward.
Yeah, man.
Which
I
is
can't wait to see.
Really cool stuff. He sent us some stuff to wear, sent a hat and everything, and I rock that all the time. And, go check him out. He's a really cool guy. What Inspired Me Today podcast with Stephen Matthew. Stephen's a longtime listener, a great friend, big time upper. He's got this really great, it's usually like 5 to 10 minutes weekly podcast where he just brings something inspiring. It's an amazing pod. He's a great guy. Go check him out. Awesome podcast. Little Rosy Cheeks Creations by Lottie, of course.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
They keep getting more and more beautiful, dude.
Did you know that she has a YouTube channel?
Come on. Push that. Let's go.
I don't know if she wants me to say anything yet.
Why would you not?
I don't know if she wanted me to say anything. So we'll put a link for it in the description if you want to. It's pretty cool.
Dude. That's it. What does she do? Is it her crocheting?
Yeah, and it's just sort of like some vlogs, some good
Let's go, dude.
advice and talk and sharing and everything. And there's some stuff. There's some clips that she filmed from LAP3 and stuff on there. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to know this. That's
cool.
awesome.
It's cool. I don't know. I might have to cut this later if she says don't share it yet.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, I was like, you're killing it. This is awesome. She's
amazing. Man.
She's just such a, we were talking about earlier in Quick Counsel. Like, I mean, she just wants to kind of. We're an international couple, so like the way we're going to live our lives is going to be different from other people, and we've accepted that. We love that, and so this is a part of that, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for it. So
that's beautiful, dude.
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, it's a little. We'll see if it makes it in the show or not. But there you go.
And you can order her creations, get a hold of her. I mean, we'll find ways to tag a way to get a hold of her for creation stuff. So I have a couple ideas that I would love her to work on as well.
Yeah.
We have a really cool collaboration coming back, man. Ez is gonna light something right now. Casey got a hold of us like literally a week ago. You'll remember Casey from Firelight Fables Candles. They're back. Well, not they never went anywhere, but the collaboration is back. She got a hold of us and said, guys, I know it's been a few years. I've been busy having children, raising a family, and growing this business. She said, would you guys want to collaborate again? Would you want to promote? And I was just waiting to get to the end of the email to say absolutely. Like, no joke. We have, we burn all kinds of candles in our house. Sarah and I, to this day, still. And we have brands that we love. But there's no brand we love more than Firelight Fables. Like, it's not a thing. It's not just because she sent us something. Her candles are unbelievable. They're really good. The Land of Shadow still remains my favorite. That blood orange. She has tea lights that are all themed and scented in packages. We have an unboxing video that we'll put up on the Instagram.
And silent ASMR video.
The quietest we've ever been in anything we've posted. And amazing, dude. So we're gonna have a promo code we're gonna share with you. That it'll be a great way if you want to support Ez and I, if you want to support Casey. It's and get something out of it as well. It's a practical way that you can do that, dude. God, I can smell it already,
dude. The packaging, by the way, the quotes. Wait till you see the ASMR video over on our Instagram. Really cool.
Yeah, the care she puts into her product is next to none.
It was awesome. I mean,
next to none, dude.
I probably would have preserved more of it if Lane wasn't he-manning the video.
My arthritis was kicking in, dude.
He was he-manning it, and so
I got it over there. I saved the packages.
Scraps. I'm gonna go get them.
Save the scraps.
But dude, no, it's so good. Her packaging, the delivery, the smell, the branding, all of it makes it just puts you in Lord of the Rings.
Yes,
I mean these particular
ones.
Yeah,
and she has all kinds of different, all kinds of different lines as well. So more of that to come. Will be, who knows? Maybe there'll be another commercial collaboration with Cam. You never know. I mean, that's how we met Cam, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't know, Casey. I mean, Ez and I were talking. Maybe it's time for a Don't Forget the Sniffing Candle.
Yeah,
maybe
really,
that's something we could work on. I think it wouldn't just be specific for us. It could apply to all Lord of the Rings fans, but it would be that'd be pretty sick. So anyway,
cool.
Also go check out DJ Lord of the Rings, Jake Hodgson, the man aforementioned. I think I said Jake Hodgins. I don't know why I said that, dude, earlier.
You did?
We need to cut that out if I did. I know my brother Jake's name. I don't know. It's the sleepiness getting to me. But check out DJ Lord of the Rings on Instagram. Dude, they're playing festivals all the time, Ez.
I want to go out.
He and his boys. Most recently, he was... I can't remember who plays. I can't remember if it's Arthur who plays Gandalf. But they do a Balrog like scene, and Jake was the Balrog last time, and he had the whip out and everything. And what they do is incredible. They're playing festivals and stuff all over the place. Go check them out. Really, really cool. Of course, a huge shout out for Paragraphs Books in Mount Vernon. Go check out Max and all the folks there. If you're in Mount Vernon, in the area, if you want to order online, I think they also have that option. Great business to support, one that's very near and dear to our hearts. And of course, we love Max so much. And man, they did such a great job with the march in Mount Vernon. That's an event that's going to be happening every year. So. All praise and love to him as well, my man.
Yep.
Two more things. Gosh, dude, I have too much stuff in here. It's just been so long.
It's okay.
The Bird and Baby's coming back. They're finally talking about reopening and revitalizing the Eagle and Child in Oxford, which is very exciting. That's the cool. Inklings pub where C.S. Lewis and Tolkien used to meet and hang out, and many others. And there's also this weird rumor of a Lord of the Rings open world game. similar to Hogwarts Legacy. It's kind of been rumored to be in development for a long time. They're working with Embracer, who owns the rights for Lord of the Rings games.
Okay.
There's no official kind of anything yet, but it's said to be coming out, or, information coming out relatively soon. So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Down. Okay.
What's your story about Glaurung?
All right, before we take another break and before we dive into the reread, very quick story. I got permission. This is people who listen this far and you listen,
Rewarded.
You're rewarded.
Rewarded.
Little gems we like to throw in here. Okay. And I got permission for this one.
Okay.
I had to get permission. So I was doing the email list.
It's like when you were clipping the back of your shirt the other day.
Yeah.
On the toilet.
Oh my God, no, that was bad. Wow, that's a different story. Okay, so all right.